Hello, 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 my Cybies. How is everyone today? Tell me if anything about my sound is off. I'm still experimenting with this multi-sound source thing I'm doing where everything is going to be on a different track, so I can turn down things if I need to. Music, video, throwables, they're all separate. It's on the Crimes New Roman stream last Friday. Nobody told me my music wasn't coming through, god damn it. It might be a little quiet right now, but you should be able to hear it. Oh my god, the auto-translator got you too. Cryo, oh no. Doesn't like us saying hi or hey. So YouTube has this new thing where it can auto-translate chat. Which is pretty cool. I think that's awesome. I think that's one good use of AI is automatically translating everything on social media, so we have like no language barriers anymore. But it doesn't seem to work particularly well, or know what it's translating from or to half the time. So now we just have a bunch of translations of hi into I don't even know what. Oh, you weren't there for that one? Yeah, last week we did Crimes New Roman, talking about how Turkey Tom is causing school shooters or something. I don't know. It was a very weird, boring video, and it made me long for Jordan. Because at least Jordan can deliver, like, a script competently. You know? I might cut that last one down, but if I do, I'm gonna have to, like, just chop it the fuck up and arrange it by topic like I did the original Lily Orchard SU video. Because this dude is just all over the fucking place. If he's not gonna organize this fucking video, I will.
At Blue Blader Bot sent a super chat. Have you heard of Project S&T? I think you'd like her.
I only know her as the person who once did redesigns of Sonichu characters and Chris Chan got mad, but then Chris Chan decided he likes them, so that's all I know. Yes, you can speak Portuguese. It's automatically translating it for me, and if I mouse over it, I can see the Portuguese. You're saying, oh my god, can I speak Portuguese? Yes, yes you can. So, anybody can speak any language in the chat now, and it should automatically translate it for me. Again, I think this is a fantastic use of AI. Twitter's done it now, too. If you're on Twitter, you may see a tweet that's been automatically translated and not even know it until you look up at the little thing telling you that it is. So I think that's great, you know, so I'm gonna leave it on. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be a little more low-key this week. So, we're going to be watching the finale of Conspiracy of Everything, but it's not even the finale, he lied. Because there's a few other items in here. There's, a short one about chemtrails. Then he made a 90-minute special. I think this because the whole movie one is all the videos edited together. I don't know what the 90-minute special is, but we're probably not gonna watch it. But then we have a few other, like, shorter ones down here, so if this one doesn't take too long, we might watch some of the other ones. So in the previous ones, Jordan told us about how the universe is a holographic demiurge.
Zero Garisha sent a super chat. Listening while building an ST model tax.
Nice, nice, nice. No, I am a little high, so there you go, there you go. I'm high and relaxed today. So, yeah, he told us about that. He told us about technology and didn't really say anything about it. He at one point remarked that he thinks factory farming is exactly like the Holocaust. That was cool. So, I love how I have, like, way less people today because I'm doing spirit science. It's alright, I did this to myself. So here we go, we're gonna, yeah, chemtrails is a particularly funny, conspiracy theory.
At Gordon Lemon 3738 sent a super chat. At work tax.
Technically, I'm also at work. This is my job. But yes, hopefully you can't hear my air conditioner. It is hot as fuck today, so I had to set up all the air conditioners in the house. So, we finally got there. So let us see, because I know... Does he have... Yeah, the unicorn Wii right after that. That's how the unicorns became iconic. I don't remember if he has music. I know he does in the beginning, so let's leave my music on for now. If it's too much, maybe we'll turn it off. So let's see. I'll pause the supers for now as well. We have to... What is this all leading to, Jordan? Dun, 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 dun. Remember this opening? Dun, dun, da da. Serious things. Jordan's gonna scare you. Da 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 da. Take this seriously. Da 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 da. Yeah. Isn't it spoopy, guys? He must be correct. He must be right. It's all ominous.
Our liberation and transcendence truly happens through revelation. The word itself actually stems from the meaning disclosure of information to man by a divine or supernatural agency, as well as unveiling or uncovering of sorts. As we've seen so far, humanity is undergoing an exponential increase in veils being lifted, and we are seeing life being stirred up and changed like never before.
Is the age of Aquarius, Jordan?
One analogy we might use here is as if humanity has been in the dark for so long, isolated by socioeconomic and cultural divides. And yet with modern technology, it would seem as though the lights are collectively turning on. But now, there is so much light, all at once, that it is blinding. And despite our access to so much information today, we are still just as blind as we ever were.
You mean like light as in literally as in all the screens we look at? Or you're saying people are just too enlightened to really pick a focus now or something?
Is, while we allow time for our eyes to adjust. Yet the root of revelation...
Oh, I see. It was just a really bad analogy, alright?
...doesn't just speak to veils lifted, but our own revelation from divine origin. Beliefs...
Alright, guys. I'll speed them up.
Systems and ideologies are challenged in mass as new information comes out that asks us to reassess our paradigms of identity. As this happens...
Paradigms of identity! And I've told you guys, anybody who uses the word paradigm is usually full of fucking shit. You know, it's just like a filler word that makes them sound like they're saying something profound, you know?
Those who are willing to explore new ideas grow. And those who rail against anything new only burrow deeper into their own existing paradigm. Even in the new world we are creating, there are bound to be different paradigms that people live within. We must remember that some people are filled with hate, negativity, and suffering.
You can tell because they write hate on their fingers, like in the stock image you see.
All of which are descending from their own pain, which inhibits their higher consciousness and keeps them—
Oh no, this isn't the last time we're looking into spirit science. This is just the ending of his conspiracy videos. We're definitely gonna be looking— Most of his other videos are actually crazier than this series has been. You guys have been like, oh, besides, this series is so boring, and it kind of is, but I just want to complete it, alright? Before we look into any other spirit science. You're ugly, by the way, chat. You see that? Mean messages on the internet.
Them rooted in a lower vibration. This does not mean that they are bad people, for the only true—
If you bully people on the internet, you're just at a lower vibration of humanity, guys.
Remedy is compassion. No matter how far disconnected from their soul,
Madlad says, careful, Sai. You might have too much masculine spiritual energy. It's throwing you off balance. It's totally not new age hippie way of being sexist and telling women to be quiet. Yeah, I know, the male and female energy bullshit is just sexist stereotypes. That's all it is, sexist stereotypes. Oh, but they're enlightened this time.
Someone may be, they can always come back to the light. However, the only—
Tover says, I know how to use paradigm. I'm a science fantasy writer. Well, there you go.
way for this to take place is if they genuinely want—
Oh, Master Mike, his main videos are, like, he's talking in, like, a nice, soft voice here. I think he was trying to, like, get a normie audience or something. Or just, like, conspiracy theory people in general. Because this isn't his normal performance style. If we have time, maybe we'll look at some of his, like, more recent stuff. But this— I thought this particular series was gonna be crazier than it was. But he has said some pretty nutty things in it, but— Well, yeah, he word salads all the time. That's his usual kind, but in his main content, he's usually much more enthusiastic and animated, you know, so it could be a little funnier.
Jessel sent a super chat, making up for the small chat and of course, our attacks.
Man. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs earlier, Jessel. And if you got hit by that, you can connect your Discord and YouTube and get dumped in the Discord.
Sauciness sent a super chat. Spirit Science.
Spirit Science. I don't know. Like he's like a little bug in a jar to me. He's like a Yandev to me.
Strava sent a super chat. My mom used to believe chemtrail thing.
God, this old debunker channel, was it Cold Hard Facts? Something like that? He did an episode on chemtrails. And some of these people literally thought they could walk into their backyard with like a spray bottle of vinegar and aim it up toward the sky and spritz vinegar and it would make the chemtrails go away, you know, thousands of miles up in the air. It's alarming sometimes to know what other grown adults actually believe. I think that was the last super. Here we go.
For unless someone seeks their own salvation, they will never end up finding it. Thus, it doesn't matter if someone spends their time living in a VR reality for years,
music. I'll stop
abuses their bodies, or even in some future reality, travels throughout the universe. All paths through life can be taken, but only one path leads to the liberation of the soul. This is the path with
transhumanism won't save your soul, he says.
Then, may this be a lesson for all of us too. For if we are afraid of the darkness within us and others, and we attempt to quell it by attacking it with anger and hate, then we lessen.
I think Jordan is more of a disciple of cults than a cult leader himself. He definitely has cult leader potential, but he seems to mostly waste his own money on like retreats and stuff run by other bigger grifters.
Our own vibration and reduce ourselves to the same state of consciousness as that which we are fighting against. Evil begets evil, and in the words of a wise Jedi Master, fear leads to anger. Anger.
So funny how much he cites some movies and pop culture and shit when explaining his new age mumbo jumbo. It just goes to show how shallow his thought process is.
Leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering.
I'm still not over that the Only Plays guys knew him back in the day. And knew him when he was first starting this bullshit.
Hence, the true solution to the salvation of humanity, or the reconnection of our souls as we discussed so long ago, is through genuine and authentic compassion. By elevating our own consciousness to such a degree that our light radiates to those around us, and we become instruments of sacred transformative change by the goodness that we embody.
See, the thing about people like this, Inky, whether it be new age woo-woo people or self-help gurus or like guys telling you how to start your own business in 4 easy steps, it doesn't matter if you don't understand what they're saying as long as they sound like they understand what they're saying. Just being confident while saying a whole lot of nothing can trick a lot of people, and it's terrible.
And while this may sound to some like spiritual woo, the discoveries around this today...
Well, it is spiritual woo. It's spiritual woo-woo. Yes, Jordan, I'm sure you've heard that many times.
...have the power to radically change everything we think we know.
Woo-woo. You've probably seen me use woo-woo. It's an old term from the skeptic community, just meaning like any like just weird new age beliefs, just like woo, you know, woo, spooky spirit stuff, woo. So we just call it woo-woo.
About both science and religion. These discoveries speak to a deeper, basic, and more intrinsic understanding about the nature of who we are and our place.
Not even a Yoda quote from the fucking prequels. Come on, Jordan.
In the cosmos, as well as the abilities that we have.
I'm not even listening to what he's saying either, to be honest.
The nature of consciousness itself, these discoveries are so paradigm-shattering that life on Earth as we know it will never be the same once the...
Now just keep saying the word paradigm, you'll definitely sound smart now.
...knowledge becomes commonplace among the people of the Earth. That is, if it's ever allowed to get there. For a long time, our perception of spirituality has been governed by the religions of the world, and our perception of the universe and the nature of life has been governed by science. Movies like Zeitgeist outline and identify ways in which the religious institutions...
Oh my god! Who remembers Zeitgeist? It was like a big, dramatic conspiracy theory YouTube movie by a 9/11 truther, and it was like, oh god, it was like such a big thing for a while, and now everyone has completely forgotten about it.
Have monopolized...
In fact, I had forgotten about it until he mentioned it just now.
...people in a myriad of ways, while others today, such as Dr. Rupert Sheldrake's The Science Delusion, demonstrates how science has been used to shepherd people into a mindset, keeping us locked into a...
What's this guy's credentials? Is he another fucking chiropractor? Remember he had like, oh, according to Dr. whoever, and it turned out the guy was just a fucking chiropractor. Parapsychology researcher. He proposed a concept of morphic resonance, a conjecture that lacks mainstream acceptance and has been widely criticized as pseudoscience. Well, that's all we need to know. Like, fucking the term morphic resonance sounds like something that would, like, be in Control. You know? It's like how Control is very Jungian, and, like, I don't actually believe Jung's theories, but I like them as a concept in fiction? Alright, let's see what the fuck morphic resonance is. Rupert Sheldrake has researched telepathy in dogs, crystals, and Chinese medicine in his quest to explore the phenomena that science finds hard to explain. Oh boy. It is not often in liberal North London that you come face to face with a heretic, but Rupert Sheldrake has worn that mantle pretty cheerfully for 30 years now. Oh, this guy sounds like he's totally legit. If he's been a laughingstock for 30 fucking years. Sitting in his book line, study. You know he's smart because he has books. Okay, I just want to know what the fuck morphic resonance is. The eminence of Sheldrake's 70 years and 10 has made questions of mortality and consciousness seem a little more pressing to him. Oh, he's old, so he's trying to find some sort of, afterlife backdoor. He almost came face to face with his morphic energies in 2008, speaking at a consciousness conference. At Santa Fe, New Mexico, he was attacked with a knife by a Japanese paranoid schizophrenic? This is far more interesting than whatever fucking Jordan was talking about. He suffered... What is it? So, he went to a consciousness conference and got stabbed by a schizophrenic man. Okay. That's really important. Alright, I just want to learn about morphic resonance. I want to hear what this is. I have here. Morphic resonance and morphic fields, an introduction. In the hypothesis of formative causation discussed in detail in my books A New Science of Life and The Presence of the Past, I propose that memory is inherent in nature. Most of the so-called laws of nature are more like habits. Oh, we're off to a great start. My interest in evolutionary habits arose when I was engaged in research in developmental biology and was reinforced by reading Charles Darwin, for whom the habits of organisms were of central importance. As Francis Huxley pointed out, Darwin's most famous book could be more appropriately have been titled The Origin of Habits. Who says that? Hey, Billy Donuts! Don't forget, we do have a new donut throwable on the sticker extension for Twitch that costs 50 bits. Let's see. Morphic fields in biology. Over the course of 15 years of research on plant development, I came to the conclusion that for understanding the development of plants, their morphogenesis, genes, and gene products are not enough. Morphogenesis also depends on organizing fields. The same... Okay, I just want to know what the fuck... fucking morphic resonance is. Most developmental biologists accept the need for holistic or integrative conception of a living organism. Otherwise, biology will go floundering, even drowning in the oceans of data. As yet more genomes are sequenced, genes are cloned, and proteins are characterized. So? Oh no, they'll have too much data on the subject! How terrible! I suggest that morphogenic fields work by imposing patterns on otherwise random or indeterminate patterns of activity. For example, they cause microtubules to crystallize in one part of the cell rather than another, even though the subunits from which they are made present throughout the cell. So he's saying, like, this mystical field determines where things crystallize in cells? I mean, I know this is the problem I run into with this stuff is I'm above average in scientific literacy, but I'm not good enough to explain exactly why this is bullshit, but I know it's bullshit. You know? Morphogenic fields are not fixed, however, but evolve. Oh, really? The fields of Afghan hounds and poodles have become different from those of their common ancestors, wolves? What, do you think they give off radiation or something? Like, do you think they're like hard light to a dog shape? Like, what does that mean? How are these fields inherited? Well, you see, we took wolves, and we bred them over generations for certain traits until they looked like the various breeds of dogs. And that took, like, a few thousand years. So, that's how. And now they're, you know, they inherit genes from their parents, like everything else. So anyway, I think, memory of nature. From the point of view of the hypothesis of morphic resonance, there is no need to suppose that all the laws of nature sprang into being fully formed at the moment of the Big Bang, like a kind of cosmic Napoleonic code? Or that they exist in a metaphysical realm beyond time and space? Well, buddy, I mean, we call them laws of nature, but it doesn't mean, like... We call it a law because we can't see how reality could work any other way. That's how something becomes a law. Like, okay, we have figured out how this works. That doesn't mean something presupposed those laws. And of course the laws of nature didn't spring into being fully formed at the moment of the Big Bang. There wasn't planets yet! Like, the laws of physics in space are completely different than on a planet. And completely different than on a planet with an atmosphere like we have. So, obviously those laws came later as these things came into being. But again, we just call them a law because, like, we have hard figured out how this particular part of nature operates. And they're like, and that's it. It's a hard rule. Like, he seems to be thinking, like, it's like how young Earth creationists think. They think that, you know, scientists, like, are discovering, like, some sort of, like, written code in the universe that must have been passed down by some intelligence or something. They can't think outside of that box. And I don't know how to explain it better. But, like, the laws of nature are just, they just are. Like, we don't have another universe to compare ours to. So yes, the way nature be, the way existence and life be, is just the way it be. I don't know what else to tell you. Radioactive Dogs? Yes, Radioactive Dogs. It would be a good band name. If we want to stick to the idea of natural laws, we could say that as nature itself evolves, the laws of nature also evolve, which is kind of what I just said. Just as human laws evolve over time. Okay, laws of nature and, like, human laws... as in, like, our governance, are two completely different things. Like, the way science uses the term law is different than you would use law in a government. Just like the word theory doesn't mean exactly how people colloquially use the word theory in science, you know? A theory in science means we've basically figured this out. But we don't have, like, the final proof to say it's a law. You know? Basically. Physics gets strange the further you get away from Earth. Like, space physics are crazy. A lot of metaphors embarrassing anthropomorphic. Well, you're the one who did... Habits are less human-centered. Many kinds of organisms have habits, but only humans have laws. Okay, this guy is just... He's just full of shit. Morphic fields underlie our mental activity and our perceptions and lead to a new theory of vision as discussed in The Sense of Being Stared At. The existence of these fields is experimentally testable through the sense of being stared at itself. How is that a test? There is already much evidence that the sense really exists. You can take part in experiments on this website yourself. Oh, really? What's this? Take part in online experiments. New staring detection app. Oh my god, guys. I think I've stumbled down some kind of rabbit hole. Can you tell when someone is looking at you? Grab a friend and find out with this new app. Does it cost some money? Lets you test your sensitivity to being looked at from behind and explore whether practice can improve it. So weird. Is he thinking, like, how, like, some particles change when they're observed? I mean, yeah, that goes for particles, but not, like, a whole, like, multicellular system like us. Again, I'm not quite scientifically literate enough to explain why this is bullshit. But we can all tell it's bullshit, right? I wish Space Frog was here. He'd know this shit. There are so many ways this test could be biased, too. Like, this one... Oh, good. We can see how the test works, guys.
Have you ever had the feeling someone was staring at you and turned around to find out you were right? Now you can actually put this feeling to the test using a new app created by Rupert Sheldrake and Alex Gomez-Marin. The app is called iSense Training and it's available for both iOS and Android. Once you've downloaded the app, press Get Started and go ahead and sign in. This lets the app keep track of your progress over time. You'll need a partner to run the test. One of you will be the looker and the other the subject.
I mean, you're already gonna know the other person is standing behind you when you start this test. Because you guys are specifically doing the test. You're gonna know someone is behind you. And it's not just someone staring at you. You have, like, a sense of hearing, don't you? You can hear someone else moving behind you. A lot of people don't realize that's what's happening when they get the sense someone's looking at them. But you see movement out of the corner of your eye. You hear things. You may not be, like, consciously aware of it, but, like, you have other senses. You know this, right?
After choosing your roles, you'll link your phones. You can do this by either scanning a QR code or by entering a code shown on the subject's screen.
Okay.
Once you've connected your phones, you'll be ready to start the test. The looker needs to stand behind the subject, and we'd recommend that the subject wears a blindfold to eliminate any possible visual cues. Once you've both pressed...
But again, you've already agreed to have him standing behind you, so you know he's there. So this immediately, like, there's no control here. There's, like... This is so biased.
The app will count down and then tell the looker whether to look or not look at the subject. There are distinct sounds to signify both the start and the end of the trial, so the subject knows when to focus and when to answer. When prompted, the subject needs to answer yes or no. When directed to look, the looker should stare at the back of the subject's head or neck.
This has to be just for people who really want to think they have psychic powers, right?
Directed not to look, the looker should look away and think of something else other than the experiment.
Okay, alright, this is, And now he's talking about telepathy, so, yeah, I think that's all we need to know about this guy who says science is a delusion, and he's really got things figured out that Jordan is citing right now. It was a fun little...
Crafty Books sent a super chat. I just finished Portal. What I miss?
Not much. The video was boring, so I went down a little rabbit hole about one of the people he's citing, and oh boy.
Jessel sent a super chat. Sai, could you tell I am staring at you?
Oh, he's staring at me.
Eye emoji.
I think Giselle's out right outside my window right now.
Paradigm of physicality and nothing more. Further, these two voices of science and religion have been at odds for a very long time.
No, they haven't. A lot of, like, the early scientists were, like, Christian monks, because they were some of the only people who were literate. So, no. It's only in, like, contemporary times that people are like, oh, evolution is against God, even though Darwin himself said it wasn't. And he was also, like, Catholic or something.
Sharply criticizing one another, or otherwise outright refusing to acknowledge each different perspective, or their many merits and wisdoms that they bring forth. Despite this, today new revelations about the nature of consciousness stand to shatter the illusion of separateness, destroy the dogma we've clung to for so long, and give us a foundational blueprint to create a new world for ourselves. Truly, it's how we can create heaven on earth. All that's required is our complete participation.
Just believe in Jordan's cult and one day you'll be able to, like, fly and stuff, probably, maybe.
At Invoicing Emu sent a super chat. Ace/Pride Month tax.
That's right, but it's really the straight people who should be giving me extra taxes this month. Obviously, it's Pride Month. Cough it up. I'm just kidding.
One example of this is found in the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton with The Biology of Belief, which explains...
Yay! Somebody else to look up! Bruce Lipton, Biology of Belief. I am going to cross-check all of your references, Jordan. The Biology of Belief by Bruce H. Lipton, Ph.D. Ph.D. of what, though? Argues that our thoughts and beliefs control our biology, not our genes, through the new science of epigenetics, which shows how environmental signals, including our perceptions, regulate gene activity. No! No! Epigenetics is specifically things outside of you, like fucking radiation fucking up your genes, or you know, like, people getting fucking lung cancer from pollution and shit. That's epigenetics. Epigenetics are not thoughts in your head change your body. That's more the power of suggestion, which has been shown to work. On occasion, not dramatically. Like, you can't just, like, will yourself to not have cancer. But the book explains how the mind-body connection works, demonstrating that positive thinking and conscious transformation can lead to better health and life outcomes, challenging the traditional view that life being predetermined by DNA. So what? We think ourselves into existence before we're even conceived? What do you mean? Lipton, a cell biologist, press X to doubt, uses simple language and examples to show how our cells respond to signals from our consciousness, making it a foundational text in bridging science and spirit. So you already know these are people in this new age woo-woo shit. Epigenetics. The book's central theme is that genes are not ultimate controllers of our biology. Instead, they are controlled by signals from outside the cell, including energetic messages from our thoughts and beliefs. That's not what epigenetic means! Oh no! I again wish Space Frog was here. The New Agers are trying to turn epigenetics into like a New Age woo-woo concept. They're just taking words they don't actually understand and acting like they're mystical. This is what these people do. Oh god. Mind-matter connection. Lipton details that molecular pathways to which the brain's functioning thoughts affects all cells in the body. Well, of course our brain is the central control thing of our bodies, idiot. It's our brain. That's what they do! Conscious transformation. By understanding this connection, individuals can retrain their thinking to change their biology and create healthier, more joyful lives. So I don't have to exercise. I can just think myself skinny. Is that what you're telling me? How come that's never worked for anybody in the history of ever? Environment. The environment, including the prenatal environment, is crucial in shaping our genetic predispositions and future health. Well, no shit, Sherlock! If a woman smokes while she's pregnant, that's gonna affect the baby. If she drinks while she's pregnant, that's gonna affect the baby. If she's in a highly polluted area, that's gonna affect the baby. If she took thalidomide to cure her nausea, that's going to affect the baby. That is epigenetics. You're not saying anything new! You're just treating epigenetics like it's some mystical thing that means we can just control our genetic makeup with our brains and, like, transform our bodies somehow. You know, like, your beliefs and perceptions are powerful biological signals that can turn genes on or off. Untrue. You are not a victim of your genes. You have power to change your life from the cells up. So you're just gonna, you're gonna sell us classes or something, aren't you? That's what all this shit is for. I guess it's just the book. What are the reviews like? God. Oh god. 5-star reviews, probably because nobody but his adherents have heard of this shit. Thank you for your contribution to the truth. So inspiring. Anything is possible. My beliefs make it happen. So thank you for validating my delusions with an official sounding book. Thank you. So I just want to, they say he's a cell biologist, and hey, Shark Jumping Walrus, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. They say he's a cell biologist, but I want to find out what his PhD is actually in. Let's see. Bruce Harold Lipton is an American writer and lecturer whose work has been dismissed by some peers as pseudoscience. You don't say! By his own admission, his ideas have not received attention from mainstream science. He has not published original scientific research in a peer-reviewed medical journal in 30 years. But we're citing this dude. Alright. What is he a doctor of? Okay, developmental biology. But I've used this analogy before. Think about Ben Carson. You remember Ben Carson, who ran for president once? He thinks the Egyptian pyramids were grain silos. I'm pretty sure he believes in chemtrails, too. Guy is still, like, the most talented neurosurgeon in the world. So you can be really, really smart in one field, and a complete fucking retard in another. You know? Also, yes, like the stream, everybody. Like, subscribe. Especially if you want more content like this, which is just me bitching about conspiratards and New Age woo-woo people. Which I do on occasion, so if you enjoy that... They're probably just gonna be Friday streams, but we like our Friday streams.
It's with profound scientific logic that our beliefs and self-identity are a product of our environment, and that as we think it, so shall we become. His work describes that if we spend our lives believing that my family had a hereditary disease, so I'll get it too, you are consciously and subconsciously programming your body with signals that will facilitate you creating that outcome.
So if you have a hereditary disease, everybody, it's your fault. I mean, does your family have a history of sickle cell anemia? Just think that you don't, and you won't have it anymore. You know, any hereditary issue, you have cerebral palsy, just think that you don't, and you won't anymore. It's that easy. You're just not believing hard enough.
And of course, this belief and others can come from our parents and family, or the environments that we expose ourselves to. When we look at all of our childhood programming together, we find today a mashup of countless different media programs and entertainment, news stories, passed down rhetoric and ideas that we received from friends and others around us.
I have a question, Jordan. If you really truly believe you're not going bald, will you not go bald? Because I've seen your hairline lately.
Who we are today was shaped by the world. And while many of the lessons that we received growing up were good and valid, many others were simply long-held beliefs that have been passed down for generations, yet may not hold our...
Long-held beliefs like you have a hereditary condition. What about people's conditions that aren't hereditary and they're just birth defects? Can those people just think really hard about not being born with only one arm, and then they'll have an arm? That's some jelly juice shit you're pushing here.
Highest interest at heart. These beliefs
let me turn off my music
our perspective of the
so
world,
it doesn't clash.
And in that, how we behave and act, which leads us to create our destinies.
I know he's quiet, but there's still music in the background.
As it would seem, many of the belief systems we hold on to disempower ourselves from being able to live our lives to the fullest.
Oh, you don't say.
Many of the largest industries...
He never considers that his weird little culty beliefs disempower him, especially when people rip him off, like, tens of thousands of dollars to go drink ayahuasca with a bunch of other stupid LARPing white people and seize on the ground while imagining Emma Watson is talking to him.
Today are built upon previous paradigms, and so their continued growth means the limiting of this new understanding. For example, we return here to the pharmaceutical industry. If you help someone cure their depression, it's very difficult to justify charging them thousands of dollars a year for a prescription.
Oh my god, Jordan. Are you gonna say, like, they make antidepressants not work on purpose or something? I've mentioned this before. I am someone who is on psychiatric medicine. I basically need to take certain kinds of medicines to not be a massive depressive melancholic. It's just my body chemistry, maybe it's the autism, there's just something wrong in my brain, and I have to accept that, and I have to treat that, and I have to deal with that. You know? So, like, sometimes you can't cure these things. There are people who have temporary depression, but there's other people who, again, there's something disordered in your brain chemistry, and you just can't help it. And that can also be hereditary, so fuck you, Jordan. Hey, I'm smoking weed right now. Don't lump me in with Jordan. Hey.
It is far easier and much more lucrative.
I don't think he even smokes weed. He just does fucking peyote and ayahuasca and some shit.
That their depression
LSD,
or illness will
maybe.
be with them for a very long, long time. We must understand that the environment has played a very significant role in the creation of our collective reality, even from the moment that we were conceived, and all of the experience that we've had since birth. And while birth defects...
You kind of brushed right over that anyway, so whatever.
...do exist, Bruce's research says that 95% of people have perfectly fine DNA and can change how their genes are expressing themselves if they will it so.
Yeah, and that's a whole bunch of bullshit, and he hasn't published a peer-reviewed paper in 30 fucking years. So, tells you about how legit his beliefs are. Like, oh no, you're just born with perfect DNA, so any diseases you have, any problems you have, any birth defects you have, it's just your fault for not thinking that you don't have those things. Duh.
For some, this may be easier than it is for others, but it's very empowering research nonetheless. If we can change the signals our bodies are receiving, the thoughts and feelings we tell ourselves and receive from others, the places we live, the music we listen to, the food that we eat, the entertainment we watch, all of these aspects will play a role in reshaping our lives by influencing us from surface to very deep levels. As Bruce's work suggests, it doesn't matter what ails you. If you can address the root cause and provide yourself with a stimulus of a higher vibration, there is nothing that you cannot heal. To add even
my friend just messaged me on on Discord to tell me that they're actually making the Wolf Among Us sequel. I still don't quite know how I feel about it because, like, it's not the same people. I do really love Wolf Among Us. I don't even like the Fables comics, and I really love Wolf Among Us. Sorry, I had to interrupt our New Age victim blaming to tell you guys some good news, because the fucking Summer Games show is going on right now.
Even more weight to the conversation of science and spirituality finding union. As we go back in time to explore the practices of our ancient world, we find the roots of spirituality steeped in mysticism. To many cultures, such as the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, Indians, Native American shamans, and other Aborigine tribes, we find a great body of wisdom concerned with mystical and altered...
Ah, yes, those noble savages and their old beliefs. They truly knew the true of nature, and we, white people should just appropriate it and funnel it into our stupid little New Age cult.
...states of consciousness, as well as the use of psychedelic plant medicine. Today, and
psychedelic plant medicine. By that he means ayahuasca.
At Plasmum you send a super chat. Psychic powers you get $10.
Hell yeah. I get $10 and psychic powers? You're psychically sending me $10. I guess you are, since it is over the internet.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. Just got back from the Tap finale. I actually cried. Didn't expect the ending at all. Expected. Different. What I miss about this lunatic.
The only thing I'll say about the Tadak ending right now is, it didn't solve my existing issues with the writing, unfortunately. We will be talking about it on the 20th, though.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. At least he's less obnoxious than the last free guy.
I know, right? Crimes of Roman was torture. We're back. Jordan's refreshing after that.
Chat. Oh hell yeah, more nonsense.
Yay, more nonsense. We're kind of looking into every, like, pseudoscientist he mentions as he mentions them, because the video's so boring. Hopefully some, like, the chemtrail one might be funnier.
And altered states of consciousness, as well as the use of psychedelic plant medicine.
Psychedelic plant medicine. I have that right now, too! They had motor breath at the dispensary. I'm so happy.
Today, and thanks to some amazing scientific pioneers, such as Dr. Rick Strassman, and even the darker experiments we've explored already concerning psychedelics, these substances are powerful tools that can be used in a myriad of ways.
No, Jordan, like, look. You're not tapping into some mystical higher consciousness. You're just fucking high. It's just your brain making up shit because you have put a mind-altering substance into your bloodstream. If you can't tell, I'm a very hardcore skeptic.
The stories of the Montauk experiment say—
And I know, I like to write a lot of fantastical things, but that is kind of the way, isn't it? It's kind of like how Terry Pratchett was like a hardcore atheist, but he wrote the Discworld series.
Say that people in the labs had their psychic abilities enhanced to the point where they could materialize objects out of thin air, but at the cost of their emotional and mental stability.
And I'm sure there's video of this, right? Because we live in an age where there's cameras everywhere. Everyone's carrying around a tiny camera in their pocket at all times, so surely there is footage somewhere of people taking LSD and being able to manifest, like, cubes or something in the air in front of them, right? You definitely must have proof of this claim, right, Jordan?
This further alludes to the theories put forth by psychedelic scientists, who discuss and theorize—
Psychedelic scientists! Well, there's another band name for one thing. Psychedelic scientists. I'm gonna go see psychedelic scientists at the concert hall tonight.
that there may be other dimensions or realms of existence that seem to exist all around us, which psychedelics give us access to, not just to visualize, but interact with, which enhance our own psychic abilities. It is herein we find a powerful surge of revelation that pours through concerning science and religion.
Do you think he's taken so much LSD, he's just, like, constantly having LSD effects now? Because that can happen to people. If you, like, take too much LSD, like, your brain can be permanently fucked up. Do you think that's what happened to him? And now he's just seeing shit all the time, and he thinks he's psychic?
For it is not entirely uncommon for a number of beings to visit you during your journeys, including meeting ascended masters, such as Thoth, Jesus, or Buddha, magical beings.
Yeah, Thoth, Jesus, and Buddha are just hanging out with me while I'm fucking high, yeah. They really like the ganja.
Such as elves or dragons, or even aliens of a wide variety of kinds. It's almost as if to suggest.
I couldn't tell you, Giselle. I've only used DaVinci Resolve once to make myself a new stream outro, because Vegas, as much as I like it, doesn't have any motion graphic capabilities whatsoever, so I downloaded DaVinci. It's pretty interesting, though.
But while material science has focused on understanding the workings...
What is this stock footage? I mean, it's kind of cool, but what is this stock footage?
...of the third dimension, religions of the world have more focus...
I mean, at least he wasn't using AI bullshit here, but this was 5 years ago, so it wouldn't really have been advanced enough. Now everything he does is AI.
...around interacting with these higher realms and the beings who inhabit them. Psychedelics, then, while not the only method of communication and interaction...
Only James Randi was still alive. I would love to see him talk to Jordan.
...with higher dimensions, do seem to be a potent tool for bridging our consciousness with higher worlds and connecting the gap between the material and the immaterial. And this is only one of...
Jordan thinks psychedelics can make you psychic or let you get in touch with, like, higher spiritual beings on higher spiritual planes that are just hidden from us in day-to-day reality. Obviously, that's an infallible claim, because you can't prove that it's not just your hallucinations, you know?
Several uses of psychedelics, for just as much as they may expand our sensory awareness outside of us into other planes of existence, so too do they expand our awareness inside of us.
Having hallucinations doesn't mean you're seeing another plane of existence, alright?
Bringing to light and visualizing the subconscious.
I'm a James Randi fan. I still watch a lot of skeptic debunkers. I watched a lot of the atheist debunking scene. My whole style of arguing with the video comes from me being a Logic fan. I completely ape that bit from him.
Conscious and unconscious aspects of ourselves, which may be used in shifting and restructuring our inner frame of being. As the Institute of Noetic Sciences is proving today,
the Institute of Noetic Sciences. Well, here's another thing for us to look at.
Along with what was put forth by Dr. Bruce Lipton, our consciousness and intention steers our reality.
Okay, let's just look this up. Institute of Necrotic? No. What was it again? Noetic. Oh, it auto-completed. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's put some music back on again.
Tomato Soup Full sent a super chat. Some people really be looking at the world in a way completely separate from us and reality. My god.
I know, it's crazy to think about, isn't it?
At Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. Latex. Happy Pride to Jordan specifically. I'm sure he hates it now. Party popper emoji. Rainbow emoji.
Yeah, he does seem like a basic straight boy. So let's see, what about overview? Give me the overview of what you believe. Weaving together knowledge and knowing. Through modern scientific inquiry, we seek to better understand a timeless truth. Humanity is deeply connected. So collective unconscious shit, is that what we're doing? I'm not gonna watch your video. For centuries, the power of science has propelled us forward. It has unlocked the mysteries of the natural world and driven human innovation. Robust scientific inquiry serves as the basis for progress by providing a sturdy, objective foundation on which to build. True! How are you gonna fuck that up? At the Institute of Noetic Sciences, we are inspired by the power of science to explain phenomena not previously understood, harnessing the best of the rational mind to make advances that further our knowledge and enhance our human experience. How very vague. The mission of the Institute of Noetic Sciences is to reveal the interconnected nature of reality through scientific exploration and personal discovery. I mean, you guys, you could basically say reality is interconnected because it's, again, it's the only one we have. As scientists focus on what are common but not often understood phenomena, we also are aware of the vast historical records of wisdom practices. Here, we're starting to get into the crazy now. When they start using their fucking cult language, that only makes sense to them. Wisdom practices that also speak to the mysteries and possibilities which allow us to access more of our human capacities. At IONS, our scientists, quote-unquote, apply the rigors of their respective disciplines, which they're probably all, like, not even in the fields that they're studying, to explore. Okay, what do you actually believe, though? Most of us, the shared wisdom shows up in many forms, inspiration that leads us. Oh, wait, are you saying we all, like, again, collective unconscious Jungian shit, right? When we all collectively embody our true interconnection and embrace our inner wisdom, we envision the creation of a more compassionate and thriving world. Are we all gonna turn into Tang, like in Evangelion? For most of us, this shared wisdom shows up in many forms: inspiration that leads us, intuition that protects us, awe that compels us, an awakening that transforms us. Whether it comes in a flash, a flicker, or a steady flow, this innate guidance system has allowed us to uncover deep insights about ourselves for generations. So you mean having thoughts? You mean having thoughts? Yeah? This inner wisdom is inherent to our humanness and has been accessed for millennia through meditation, prayer, yogic practices, and other ancient methods. Of course, the ancients had it all figured out. We draw... It gets crazier and crazy. Like, they start out sounding kind of sensible, but they're very vague, and then now they're getting into the crazy. We apply the lens of modern science topics, often perceived as mysterious or elusive, such as the power of belief to accelerate healing, or the connection between intuition and invention. Okay. Training the lens of science on the edge of awareness. I bet they thought they were fucking cooking with that. Learn more about... Tell us. Defining noetic sciences. Finally. Noetic, from the Greek noesis, noetikos, meaning inner wisdom, direct knowing, intuition, or implicit understanding. The way we understand ourselves and our world is always evolving, from instinct to intuition to intellect. Part of being human is using multiple ways to gather and utilize information. Oh, you don't say! Noetic sciences are one of the many frameworks we can use to engage with our daily reality. On his way back to Earth, after his pioneering moonwalk, Apollo 14 astronaut and ION's founder, Dr. Edgar Mitchell... There's somebody else to look up later. had the profound experience of feeling interconnected to everything he was observing from the window of his space capsule. The stars, the moon, our blue planet, and the vastness of the cosmos. Yes, I'm sure he felt very emotional looking at all of that. That doesn't mean it was magic. You realize quickly that in order to explain such an extraordinary experience, and others like it, there would need to be a rapprochement between the scientific and spiritual interpretation of reality. I mean, well, spiritual, again, emotions. So many people, like, also discount, like, human emotions, which are not generally rational and do not reflect real reality. As a scientist and visionary, Dr. Mitchell saw the need to reconcile his training as an engineer and astrophysicist with the wisdom of the ages to transcend the limitations of what he saw as an outdated materialist worldview. A new framework would be needed, one that could help explain the unexplainable, the spark of transformation. He called this framework Noetic Sciences. Dun dun dun. It refers to states of insight into depths of truth unplumbed by discursive intellect. They are illuminations, revelations, full of significance and important, and all inarticulate though they remain, and as a rule they carry... So yeah, you just having an emotional moment where you felt connected to the universe because you were orbiting the moon. Like, okay, yeah, that's kind of, like, expected, but, like, yeah, so you got really emotional about it and thought it was really cool, but that doesn't mean it was some spiritual thing zapping into your brain. You know? Our grand challenge to show through investigation, empirically, experientially, and theoretically, whether consciousness is a fundamental or derivative aspect of reality. To understand how the manifest world works, and to integrate this understanding into a more cohesive scientific paradigm, gives fucking as soon as somebody uses the word paradigm, I don't take anything they're saying seriously anymore. That explains both objective and subjective phenomenon. Or, oh yeah, so you want to explain both at once with one paradigm? That's stupid. Finally, to illuminate expanded domains of human potential that are central to collective transformation for the betterment of all life. So give us money and we'll better the entire Earth. So you're just grifting like everybody else. Blah, blah, blah. Science is governed in exploration of our interpersonal worlds. How? Those aren't scientific. The past 100 years alone, the powerful tools of science have driven tremendous advances, including doubling our lifespan, dramatically improving our quality of life, and birthing a technological age beyond our wildest dreams. Yeah, so what have you done with this? Even with these advances, science has not yet revealed everything about how reality works. Well, yeah, but that's a God of the Gaps argument, meaning, oh, science can't explain this one thing? That must mean my spiritual mumbo-jumbo is true then and causes that. That's the God of the Gaps argument. So, yeah, basically, if you can't explain it, then my mumbo-jumbo must be correct, which is not logical. So, let's see. While science observes experiments in our largely physical world, spiritual wisdom practices, on the other hand, allow us to explore, describe, and express some of the deepest mysteries of being human. Yeah, we can philosophize our asses off. Science is not concerned with that. Science is concerned with things you can observe and prove. Philosophy is for the rest of the stuff that's just completely intangible and will never be resolved. You know? These two ways of getting knowledge through scientific exploration and getting deep knowing through direct experience have generally remained separate. I don't think that's true. This is still not really explaining to me how noetics functions as a science. What do you do exactly? Humanity is facing vitally important questions that will directly affect our individual and collective realities. So you mean like life forever since we've existed? Yes. Our future demands that we explore our inner space with the same rigor and ingenuity as we explore our outer world. I mean, that's a personal choice. Despite humanity's I'm just skipping things. This is just a bunch of word salad. There remains gaps in our understanding when it comes to consciousness. Yeah. Well, we may never even be able to ever explain consciousness. You know, how are you trying to explain it, is what I'm trying to figure out here. Have you ever had a hunch, intuition, or gut feeling that seemed to come out of nowhere? How about an insight on a project you've been hard at work on that suddenly comes to you in a dream? Or you've thought of a dear friend or loved one and they instantly called or text? That's called confirmation bias. While it may be easy to chalk up these occurrences to mere coincidence, the greatest thinkers, scientists, philosophers, and artists report that such noetic experiences have been central to their process. Well, yeah, you're labeling these things noetic experiences, but that doesn't mean that those people agree with you about what that is. You know, you're labeling insight, inspiration, blah-de-blah as noetic experiences retroactively. So, that doesn't prove anything. And yeah, when you're thinking about something, when you're thinking about something a lot, yeah, you might dream about it. That's how brains work. You know? And yeah, sometimes you'll get like a spark of inspiration that seems to come out of nowhere, but it didn't actually. You know? Your subconscious brain was still working on it. Today, the Institute... I still don't even know what they do. Today, the Institute of Noetic Sciences trains the lens of science onto noetic phenomena such as these to gain a deeper... What are your studies? How do you even study this? Have your own noetic experience. I have plenty of those. I don't... Oh, they're selling courses. Of course, they're selling... Explore our research. Just please, tell me what you actually do. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. They were founded in 1973 and you've accomplished nothing? Our direct experience laboratory. Okay. What do you do? What are your studies? How do you do these experiments? That's what I want to know. Modern science investigates ancient wisdom. I mean, it does that all the time. What do you think fucking anthropology is? But for millennia, people have reported extraordinary experiences of wisdom. Yeah. The Aryan's Discovery Lab is exploring an overarching premise. Everything is interconnected, and embodying this awareness reveals information and energy not limited by space and time, and can profoundly amplify transformation, innovation, and well-being. We seek to answer 3 important research questions about this premise. Okay, what is the relationship between interconnectedness, extended human capacities, and transformation, innovation, and well-being? Well, you haven't even defined what transformation is, so I don't know. Which experiences or practices maximize these factors, or their relationships? Which personal characteristics led a person to benefit from experiences and practices based on these factors? Okay, so, like, what kinds of people tend to have intuitive sparks of inspiration? I guess. To answer these questions, we are collecting data from thousands of people who participate in workshops, seminars, and retreats, and other programs. Oh! Our research just happens to be all the stuff people give us money for! If you just keep giving us money and keep going to retreats and keep buying courses, one day we'll bring about a utopia! Just trust us and give us your money. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it always comes back to that. Human intuition and psi-related abilities. Okay, now they're getting completely kooky. The signs of interconnected consciousness, practices that support clarity, insight, and well-being. It's just a self-help retreat. With a woo-woo lens. That's all this is. We hypothesize that everything is interconnected. That's great. How are you gonna prove it? Just by having people go to fucking seminars and retreats where you all, like, you know, do ayahuasca and bang on some bongos and then think you're enlightened? Is that is that what we're doing here? Learn more and register. How much do these cost? Oh, okay, now that you're on the seminar page, they really show their hand. Can intuitive hunches provide valuable guidance? Is there life after death? Are psychic phenomenon real? This is what it's really about. It's woo-woo. It's just woo-woo. They're just getting the people who don't want to go to, like, a conventional church, but still need religion. That's the people they prey on and get money out of. I guess much like a church does. I got the fedora on today. Our groundbreaking research, which just means selling people seminars and retreats, spans subjects like intuition, channeling, and mediumship, clairvoyance, remote viewing, and collective consciousness. Okay, now that they've drawn you into possibly paying for one of their courses, now they dump all the crazy shit on you out in the open. They were dancing around this shit on their main page, but now that you're close to giving them money, they tell you all the Xenu shit. 15 modules, 1 lesson every other day for 30 days. With each module, you'll receive an overview of the topic, examining some of the key concepts, theories, history, or applications of the subject. Experiential exercises for you to explore how these ideas might be applied in your life. Resources such as books, videos, and websites for you to dig more deeply into the elements that intrigue you the most. References for published papers and peer-reviewed scientific research. I bet you don't have any. How much does it cost? Free? Really? I don't believe you. It's gotta be, I'm not gonna put, they'll get your email address and your name and be able to send you spam emails if you do sign up. I'm not doing that, but fascinating journey to the world of noetics. What a fascinating guiding journey to the world of noetics, which I still don't really understand. They just seem to be talking about psychic powers and stuff. Oh, you can register for free, but it probably doesn't stay free. Oh, and you can donate to them. Of course. Just give them money because, you know, because they're doing good work, everybody. They're gonna save the world. Yeah, so let's find out about Dr. Edgar Mitchell real quick. Okay, well, he died in 2016, so he's not even in charge of the noetics thing anymore. So it might not even be what he originally, like, thought it was. A NASA career, post-NASA career. Mitchell's interests included consciousness and paranormal phenomenon. On his way back to Earth during the Apollo 14 flight, he had a powerful Savikapla Samadhi experience. What does that mean? Well, you didn't tell me Hinduism was involved here. Okay, well, it didn't actually define that for me as two different, it's meditative consciousness. Okay, so you felt really serene looking at the Earth from a spaceship, as most people would. The results of the experiments were published in the Journal of Parapsychology in 1971. Let's see, he became the founding chairman of the Institute of Noetic Sciences in 1973 for the purpose of consciousness research and other related phenomena. Science and religion have lived on opposite sides of the street now for hundreds of years. So here we are in the 21st century trying to put two faces of reality, the existence face and the intelligence or conscious face, into the same understanding. Okay. So it sounds like he was a bit of a nut. But it definitely sounds like this place got way more predatory and nutty and new agey after he died. So, that's my assessment of that. Anyway, I guess we have to get back to Jordan now, but this has been insightful. We're looking up all of his references.
At DireWolf181 sent a super chat. Jungian is very interesting to work with in fiction.
Oh yeah, like I love the way they use it in Control. And Serial Experiments Lane. I just personally don't actually believe it, but I think it's cool.
At Bionic111 sent a super chat. Late tax.
Thank you, Bionic. That's right, you shouldn't be late to stream. Even though it's spirit science, and only I like spirit science.
At GordonLeman3738 sent a super chat. Sorry if this is really out of left field, but knowing Jordan's opinions on gender, I really don't want to know what opinions on race is.
Well, considering he envisions all of these ancient masters as white people, and considering he basically said, like, the Native Americans were underwater in the ancient times of Lemuria, and given he said that factory foreman is kind of like the Holocaust, and he thinks Hebrews are from space. No, I'm sorry, they're from our future, from another dimension, or something like that. Hebrews are, and they didn't, and they were really bad at spiritualism and had to learn good. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say he probably doesn't have very good opinions on race. He doesn't express any of them. There was a time he almost admitted to being an anti-vaxxer, so... But really, it seems like these days, especially, Jordan is just an uber-conservative Christian with a New Age woo-woo, like, veil on, you know? Like, everything comes back to Jesus with him these days.
Here's our focus, and therefore our actions. As it relates to sacred ceremonies, treating it as a holy and sacred experience would yield in...
Look at all the honkies. Sacred ceremonies are a bunch of white people LARP being mystical. Based on Eastern practices they barely understand.
Entirely different experiences than treating it as a party drug.
I can make fun of the crackers, I'm white, okay?
And so while deep healing can happen with plant medicine, that doesn't mean that it will happen. And ultimately, it comes down to you. Today, a remarkable number of testimonials have been shared from those who have participated in these plant medicine ceremonies, especially when under the care of a
plant medicine. And then you have the two brown people like, oh my god, all these white people show up and pay us thousands of dollars for this shit that we were doing anyway. This is awesome.
Especially when under the care of a true shaman. These kinds of ceremonies...
What's a true shaman? What's a true shaman, Jordan? I think you could basically say that pretty much shamans throughout history have been grifters and con artists, mostly. When they're not just, like, you know, local, like, leaders of a tribe, you know?
Provide a sacred space for purging darkness, revealing profound truth, finding healing and forgiveness, and the merging of the soul. But it's not just ayahuasca, for even psilocybin mushrooms are showing tremendous...
It's not just ayahuasca, his favorite! I do want to try microdosing psilocybin mushrooms, though. I would never do hallucinogens, though. I do not trust myself on them. I would probably not have a good time.
The soul. But it's not just ayahuasca, for even psilocybin mushrooms are showing tremendous success rates in clinical trials for helping people cure their depression, anxiety, or addiction to smoking, drinking, and other substance abuses, far above any other conventional methods for treating the same things.
I mean, I did quit drinking because I started smoking weed, so he might be onto something.
This is something that we must learn to take seriously, but we also must approach it with caution. Just as much as there are genuine shamans and amazing pure-hearted healing centers, there are also plant medicine charlatans who will attempt to use these vulnerable states that the psychedelic states facilitates and use them for malicious or self-centered purposes.
Oh, did something happen, Jordan, at one of these retreats? Did something happen? Did you realize that one of the guys leading these retreats was a complete con artist who was taking advantage of people he was just taking to a remote location and getting high? Yeah. That's all of them, Jordan. Whether they're taking advantage of you financially or they're up to something even worse.
These vulnerable states that the psychedelic states facilitates and use them for malicious or self-centered purposes.
Well, that is Jordan, because he does have some sexual assault allegations, and yeah.
This can happen when the intention of the space or the shamans are not fully in alignment with the soul, nor in authenticity or integrity. For this reason, we personally at Spirit Science will only recommend healing centers that we have been to and verified their quality, and we highly recommend watching...
We need you to donate to us so we can verify the quality of all of these ayahuasca crack houses we go to. Basically.
Our YouTube movie, Are Miracles Real? The Secret Mysteries of Ayahuasca, if you haven't seen it already.
The Secret Mysteries of Ayahuasca, that's definitely one we're gonna have to watch in the future. Especially how much we joke about him doing ayahuasca.
Setting, and substance are all important.
I told you, this is just the conspiracy videos wrap-up. We will be looking at more Jordan videos, don't you worry. Like I said, Jordan is basically on the same level as Yondev to me. He's just a fascinating little bug in a jar I like to talk about.
To plant medicine healing, and often just doing something local, in a city with untrained shamans, or just going with the cheapest option available, can do more damage than good. Someone who might truly benefit from a ceremony could all the same...
I still drink now and then, Cryo, but definitely not as much as I used to.
...have a psychotic breakdown if they have too much in an improper environment or with shamans who are unfit to deal with the depth of psychic energy.
Or they could just have a psychic breakdown because of a hereditary disease like schizophrenia or something, which you think they can just will away by thinking about it hard enough.
Or with shamans who are unfit to deal with the depth of psychic energy that is released in the ceremony. And to that end, this very well may be one of the aspects of psychedelics that we as a species will have to grapple with. For their return to our lives in a meaningful way, just as the ancient mystics practiced so long ago, comes with the revelation of a deeper psychic connection with one another.
Because white Americans weren't getting fucking high all the time, it means it's just, psychedelics in general have just come back into to everyone's lives. I'm sorry, white Canadians. We have to remember that he's Canadian. Even worse.
This notion alone may bring with it a great deal of chaos as we come to recognize that our thoughts and feelings are
I think there would be a great deal of chaos if everyone was just tripping on ayahuasca all day, yeah.
Not isolated within us, but extend beyond us in a field and connect with others in an intimate way.
This is what they mean by, like, fields. They think, like, thoughts just kind of float out into the cosmos and get carried along by the atoms and particles into other people's brains. Because humans are so special, I guess.
This awareness will ultimately bring us together, but the fear of it will also drive many to violently oppose it and deny its existence. One arcane piece of wisdom that may further add weight to this notion is that change is a...
You can't tell he's Canadian by the way he says a boot.
...universal constant. Yet our society and collective egos are often built upon a long-lasting sense of permanence. We often avoid change if we can, and this leads to holding on to things for longer than we ought to, which of course creates more suffering in the process.
Like you with this loopy belief system, Jordan. You've held on to it far longer than you actually should have.
For those who embrace these mystical states, who explore
Lily and James too. Yeah, they're shot in the water in Canada, man.
The nature of higher realms, whether through plant medicine, meditation, lucid dreaming, or through other spiritual practices, a new paradigm begins to emerge. And in this world...
My God, Garbo, you can't just ask people why they're Canadian.
True transcendence becomes possible, and the changes that are coming over the following decades will be much easier than they may be otherwise. This has to be a personal choice for each of us, as many will choose to fight for the old paradigm, and the transition to the new may be even more chaotic and uncomfortable for those who do. And just as the scientific paradigms go through profound changes, revealing an even more connected understanding of reality, so too
Basically, this is just a long-winded way of saying, I want my stuff to be recognized as real science, even though it isn't, and holds up to absolutely no scientific scrutiny. It just should be, because I want it to be.
Will the world's religions be forced to transform? If people in mass begin experiencing the Ascended Master avatars together...
Yeah, that's me, Diogenes, holding up a plucked chicken and saying, behold a man.
in these higher worlds, then religious separation must fall away, as the many dogmas of the world too break down, revealing a much more universal truth. True unity consciousness, and the demiurgic state of being can no longer survive within our bodies and minds.
Oh, I've seen this background before. I think he actually drew this, which, you know, it looks pretty good. So this would have been, like, right before he transitioned to doing, like, AI for everything. And it's like, man, you actually put effort into this artwork. It actually looks really good. You know? It looks cool. But after this, he just started using AI for everything. But yeah, I mean, I think I used this in one of my backgrounds on one of the thumbnails once. Like, look at this, is actually good. It's actually really good conceptually, really good layout, you know, good color use. Jordan, you could have advanced your art more, but you took the Shadiversity route.
We are made in the image of the Creator, meaning that the spiritual essence, call it God, Source, Spirit, or even Sophia if you prefer.
Sure, the God of every religion is secretly your thing, I know, right? Yeah.
Creative essence, and this same power moves through us too. We are creators in our own right. All that has been created so far in our world is a result of our
This stuff looks like it might be early AI. Or he's getting it from, like, video game concept art or something. This isn't his art, but...
thoughts, feelings, and labor. And just as we...
doesn't quite look like AI, so I've been a little confused. This might be concept art or something.
...created a mass disconnection. So, too, can we create...
Oh yeah, the Sophia, the knowledge, just knowledge. Sophia is just knowledge in general, and knowledge is a tangible thing that you can just suck out of the universe into your brain. So, you know, like fucking Dan Brown Da Vinci Code shit.
Connection, unity, and love.
I don't know if he thinks AI is God, but there is, like, this really weird thing with, like, hardcore New Age woo-woo people and hardcore Christians. They really, really like AI. Like, they do think it's, like, kind of like a magical spiritual thing. It's very strange.
Love. And yet, this is still not the end in the birthing process of the new paradigm. For if we choose to embrace the belief
process,
of it, we may just allow ourselves to experience ascension. If we look back into ancient history, there are stories told about something so much greater in store for us, the freeing of earthbound limitations that keep us tethered to this plane of being. The concept of ascension itself mostly came from the stories of Jesus, as he rose to heaven after his resurrection, ascending to a higher plane. But we also...
I mean, there's plenty of stories from around the world of humans, like, rising up to become gods or be part of the spiritual world, and it's not just Jesus. But, obviously, like I said earlier, he's just a Christian. He's just a Christian with all this New Age woo-woo stuff, like, wrapped around him. Yeah.
Also see it spanning back through Greek, Indian, and even Egyptian mythology, which told stories of beings who transformed into deities through their striving for wisdom. The tales of the Greek Hermes...
Yeah, like, the fucking Egyptian mythology would be before the Christian theology, but alright.
Trismegistus are especially prominent here, as well as what is written in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
Emerald Tablets are bullshit! Shut up, Jordan, shut up! Like, he got most of this stuff from, like, New Age books written in the 70s by white people, you know?
According to what is told of Hermes...
Oh, somebody got mad enough to throw a chancla, at least.
He was a man who mastered the 3 parts of the wisdom that makes up the whole universe, and in doing so transformed himself into a god.
Wait, what? I missed what the fuck who are we talking about now?
In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. According to what is told of Hermes, he was a man who mastered the 3 parts of the wisdom that makes up the whole universe. And
I'm pretty sure Hermes is a made-up guy, Jordan. Is there some historical guy also named Hermes? I don't think there is, right? Right? I didn't want- okay, I gotta fashion fucking- oh god. Olympian deity in ancient Greek religion and mythology. I mean, well, Thoth also wasn't a real guy, so I guess this tracks for Jordan taking these mythological figures from ancient religions and just treating them like they were real people. So, Yeah, the Emerald Tablets are a hoax. But he eats all this stuff up, hook, line, and sinker. He used to read a lot of Drumvalo Melchizedek. I forgot how, like, his name is so hard to pronounce. Drumvalo Melchizedek, who was on the Epstein list, by the way. He used to take a lot from that guy. Basically, all of his knowledge comes from just a cluster of New Age books from the 70s and 80s. That's basically where he got all of this from.
And in doing so, transformed himself into a god. These three parts...
Hermes Trismegistus. That might be who he's referring to, then. That might be who he's referring to, then, but he's confusing it with just the mythological Hermes, because he's an idiot. So that looks like an alchemy thing we're looking at here. Yeah, so he's talking about this guy. He just said with Hermes. He just said Hermes, not specifically this Hermes Trismegistus guy, who I guess is a fictional alchemist? Is he a full metal alchemist? Oh good, I have it in fucking Italian. Oh wait, no, this is Spanish. Okay, never mind. Legendary Hellenistic period figure that originated as a syncretic combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. Okay, so he's still a made-up guy. But he's both Hermes and Thoth. But apparently Jordan didn't know that. So this is still a fictional guy. Like... Okay. And he's been associated with the biblical Enoch, alright? Sure, but yeah, so he's a made-up guy. He's a made-up guy. This is supposed to prove what, Jordan?
Are as follows. Alchemy, the union of matter and energies from one state into another.
Yeah, alchemy is bullshit. The hell did that come from? I need to check viewer attack, man. They keep adding shit on me.
Astrology.
Oh, that was a super sticker? That must be from the sticker place, then. I gotta keep tracking. Miss Jasmine's always finding, like, the rare drops.
The understanding of the cosmic cycles and how time and space bend and flow from state to state around us. And theurgy. The understanding of spiritual practice, including magical rituals.
You mean thaumaturgy? What?
And theurgy. The understanding...
Theurgy?
Of spiritual practice, including magical rituals and the invocation of the divine powers around and through us to produce lasting change in this world and the next. In the Emerald Tablets of...
Well, of course he's gonna throw in astrology, too. He throws in, like, every single belief from around the world into his one big New Age woo-woo monomyth. It's so strange. But again, he's just a basic-ass Christian deep down. It's so 400 bits? Oh my god. I mean, maybe we can do some custom super stickers in the future, too.
So,
I'll have to play with that more.
Also often equated as the same being as Hermes.
I'm still gonna look into the thing that might let YouTubers throw shit, which I'm sure will get far more chaotic if I implement something like that.
It tells a story about how upon ancient Atlantis, long before the fall of consciousness, a man named Chikatet Aralik Vomalites sought after cosmic wisdom, and made this the focus of his life and his devotion. And as a...
Does anybody know what this is he's talking about? Because I don't. I've never heard of this shit.
Was also often equated as the same being as Hermes. It tells a story...
Yeah, because it was a made-up story, Jordan.
About how upon ancient Atlantis, long before the fall of consciousness, a man named Chikatet Aralik Vomalites...
Chikatet Arlament Voyatice? Try my best. Chikalet Varmint. Chikalet Varmint. How did he say that? Let me turn on some subtitles. Chikatet Arlik Vomalades. Chikatet. Well, it sounds Egyptian. Arlik. Vomites. I already can't pronounce English good. Don't make me do this shit. You are likely referring to... Thank you, Google. Chiquitet Arlich Volmatis, San Pedro Tique Paque, an atmospheric and dark ambient track created by the project Atrium Obscurum. So I immediately got a band. That's cool. You may be looking for archangles or archons and vomit lights. I definitely want. I'd like to get some vomit lights for my garden. Thank you. Okay, Fandom Wiki has us apparently. Again, he's also just Thoth. This person he's talking about is also just Thoth. Ah. Yeah. Any actual things I'm finding on this? It's just Thoth. So, now he's mentioned 2 other characters who are also just the fictional Thoth. So, and he's acting like this is all different profound things that prove his bullshit. I don't know why it was on Fandom Wiki. I guess people can be fans of mythology, I guess. That's fine, but...
Sought after cosmic wisdom, and made this the focus of his life and
Fandom Wiki says you're wrong, Jordan.
Devotion. And as a result of his efforts, putting all other earthly pleasures beside him, he found his way into sacred spaces unavailable to the masses, deep within the earth, and in doing
so, don't have sex, kids, and you'll become a wizard, according to Jordan, I guess.
Doing so, became a god, a master of time and space, free to move.
Alright, yeah, some of this is looking like early AI images.
Bodily between dimensions, as well as through time. In these writings,
cheese all over the screen. You guys are getting very bored, huh?
Tells us that we too may.
You triggered an ultra cheese slap super sticker. I don't know where you're finding these. I guess you saved up your bits for it. Well, thank you for your support. See, guys, you can support me by throwing things at me if you're on Twitch.
We follow in these pathways, and may also attain to these levels of consciousness if we should so
get
desire.
Cheese, Jordan.
And from these,
alright, I'm definitely gonna have to look into the super stickers and see if we can make some custom ones because we can have fun with that.
Kinds of stories we must ask ourselves: could it truly be possible to master our bodies, our minds, and our consciousness to such
I literally glanced out of the corner of my eye over at OBS and just saw cheese everywhere. Welcome to my stream.
Agree that we could break free from not only
there's the donuts. I made
world,
that one.
But even the bonds of time, space, and gravity.
I should probably turn off my music.
What if through our consciousness we could perform feats and miracles that rivaled the ascended masters of the past?
His music's
Stories
not
of
loud.
Jesus
Let's
say
turn
that
it
he
back
could
on.
walk on water, heal the sick, raise the dead. And after he himself returned from the
Alright, Jordan, how about we watch you walk on water? I mean, you're basically a master of all this shit, right?
dead, he lifted his body into the air and disappeared into heaven. How might we explain this scientifically with our new understanding of consciousness? Perhaps with
now, come on, Mad Lad. Being a witch is all about headology.
enough conscious presence within the body, and with a strong enough energetic field, or light body, we could begin to learn how to control the forces of nature. In science today, we know them as the strong force, the weak force, the electromagnetic force, and gravity.
So if we get enlightened enough, we can just control gravity. How come no one in history has ever done this?
The strong force binds the atomic nucleus. The weak force controls radioactive decay. The electromagnetic...
Isn't it funny how we see less miracles and miraculous things happening the more cameras are available? Isn't that interesting?
Force binds molecules together, and gravity binds bulk matter. Out of these 4, gravity is the least understood, having seemingly negligible effects on molecules.
We understand gravity pretty damn well, Jordan.
Or atoms due to their mass.
If you don't understand gravity, Jordan, I advise you to go to the second-story window of your house and test it out.
Being a curvature in space-time, it isn't like the other forces, as it appears to be one of the fundamental guiding aspects of our reality. The force of gravity is somewhat of an illusion, though, as current theories state that matter tells space-time how to curve, and space-time tells matter how to move. Then again...
Well, yes, because matter moves through space-time. That's the only thing we exist in. Again, we don't have another universe to compare ours to, so we just have to accept that that's fundamentally reality until we find some data that proves it isn't, which you haven't done.
Again, Nikola Tesla fundamentally disagreed that space was curved, and beheld different theories of gravity.
Because whatever Nikola Tesla says must be correct, right? Just because he was a genius, so anything he thought must be right?
Which are still contested today, since gravity is not well understood. The level of mastery we would require to overcome these forces, however,
like how I have
would be
Megalovania
outstanding.
playing right now.
Consider, to move your physical body into another dimension, or even through the dimension of time, would require that you have such an incredible amount of conscious presence flowing through each and every atom of your body, and even—
Wow, Jordan, moving your body through time. Nobody has ever done that, except that's what we do every second of the day. We are currently moving through time, Jordan. That is how time works.
Even understand how these forces apply themselves to your body in order to move your form from one state—
I think we all know how time affects our bodies, you know, like your hairline—
to another, without losing limbs, organs, or even just becoming lost in time forever. On one hand, this may be possible with enough technological know-how, yet on the other—
And then he's just referring back to movies, because that's all he's got.
hand, true transcendent liberation may only come through utilizing our biological technology that we have been—
Well, see, that's the problem with time travel. Like, does the past still physically exist? I don't think that's really answerable, you know?
given. With spiritual devotion, it is likely that the first aspect we would learn to manipulate would be gravity, giving us the ability to levitate and move our bodies in 3 dimensions.
Being able to fly would be super fucking cool, Jordan, but that's not possible. Unless we invent something like fucking little nanomachines that can propel us or whatever, you know? Like, maybe far in the future we'll have flight suits, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
Dimensions through space by understanding and warping it around us. Then, greater levels of mastery will enable us control over the electromagnetic force, meaning
really
our
like
molecules.
Marvel, huh?
This may give us power to change how our bodies appear, and potentially even support our body's renewal long past what we would normally consider possible.
And again, how come no one in history has ever achieved this then? If it were possible, someone would have discovered it by now. Like, what are you talking about? Someone would have discovered it by accident by now. If it was possible. Oh, Happy Science also believes this stuff. Yeah, this is the beliefs people in the skeptic community just call general New Age woo-woo. You know, it's like, it's not really a cohesive belief system. It's like just all the psychics and time travel and dimension hopping and flying shit. All of it together is just woo-woo.
This may be the secret to physical immortality. After that, we could learn to consciously play with our atoms, which would support us in transforming our bodies and potentially other objects at will.
I mean, if you could just like transform your body and your atoms at will, you could so easily fuck it up too, couldn't you?
Is this what Thoth described when he said he was free to move through time and space? Or could it be what was said about—
He was a made-up person, Jordan. He was fictional, so it doesn't matter what he meant by it.
The ancient Lemurians, and how they were able to change their bodies.
In Lemuria, he thinks Lemuria was like this ancient island that sank like Atlantis when it was just like a name for an island with a lot of lemurs on it. That's why it's Lemuria.
At will. As we master the forces of nature, especially understanding the—
It's like kind of like how he thinks Atlantis is real when it was just a metaphorical story written by Plato.
Forces at a subatomic level, we may also enable ourselves to become quantumly entangled through time and space. We may learn how to physically time travel, or move into other dimensions of reality. We can travel throughout the universe and search for new planets and other species to connect with. As we explore—
Oh, we can just fly through space if we become enlightened enough. Again, if this was possible, why wouldn't anyone have discovered it before now?
Previously, often stories of profound DMT experiences, people—
Like, I do think Jordan buys his own bullshit. I do think he does. I think he's not very smart. I do think he is grifting, but I think on some level he does buy into all this shit. And really, really wants it to be true. I think maybe deep down he knows it's not, but he really, really wants it to be.
Describe arriving in elaborate geometric cities and meeting beings of light. While psychedelics—
Wow, cool hallucinations, bro.
Can sometimes give us a glimpse of seeing these worlds temporarily. With a high enough level of mastery over the forces of nature, it may be possible to travel there bodily. What's especially curious about this entire theory, however, is that it seems to depend entirely upon our own belief systems as to whether it becomes possible. And yet, this is self-evident by nearly all of our technological evolution.
Everybody just collectively believe this really hard so it can be true and I can fly. Come on, you guys!
Today, and the speed at which we may attain these levels also depends entirely on us.
I mean, yeah, Garbo, I could be wrong. He could just play dumb and he's just a grifter who doesn't believe any of this stuff. But, like, the way the Oni Plays guys described talking to him, like, 12 years ago, first getting into this shit, and how mad he was that they were laughing at it, I do think if he doesn't believe in it, then he thinks it's, like, a surefire way to, like, get attention and money from people.
Think about it. If nobody ever had any interest in building a car, or collectively we didn't believe that an automobile was even possible, then we would all still be riding horses right now.
Well, I mean, the pressures of our environment, even our man-made environment, are a factor there, Jordan. We need conveyance, and we need to make conveyance more efficient and easier, you know? So eventually, we created automobiles, automatic carriages that didn't require horses, you see. So, I mean, yeah, it went from, like, riding horses to having horses pull carts to having carts drive themselves, and now we have cars. You know, the pressures of our environment that we built around us demanded it, and so people invented it. I mean, one of the earliest things humans invented was the fucking wheel, Jordan! You know, it was one of our earliest inventions, so it would make sense that we put a wheel on a thing we want to go. And making the thing go automatically and not require a horse is even better.
There was a time in mass when nobody believed it would be possible to ever set foot on the moon, until enough stories, like the writings of Jules Verne, inspired enough imaginations, and suddenly this once impossibility became a collective dream. And
this is another snaky thing that, like, the younger Earth creationists use. Like, people also didn't used to believe this thing that turned out to be true, so my thing must also be true. And it's like, no, that does not logically follow. You have to prove your thing.
And then transformed into an actual ambition. But had those books never been written, and the dreams never believed or considered, we certainly wouldn't have rockets going up and down into the atmosphere on a regular basis. Therefore, this process of ascension may take no time at all.
No, he does believe in the moon landing, surprisingly. He does.
Or it may take thousands of years for us to attain this level of mastery. It really depends on us and our desire to reach into this kind of higher reality. For many, this future feels out of reach without significant help, as nearly all of us are lost to some degree within the demiurge, doing our best within the circumstances that have befallen us in life. And the amount of healing work and spiritual discipline that is required to be done is tremendous.
Right, the whole universe is a hologram and also demiurge, because he had a jam Gnosticism in there somewhere.
Further, not all souls are willing to embrace this information, for it is an entirely new paradigm.
Not everyone believes me, I don't like that.
Time of belief that conflicts with their existing one, and thus it is far easier and far safer.
Yeah, it conflicts with my existing belief that I will only believe in things that have evidence. You have to actually convince me of something if you want me to believe it's true. I think that's a pretty sensible baseline to have. Like, I need evidence of a thing you are claiming in order to accept that claim.
To not consider anything new. And that's the ultimate caveat here. Just as we explored before, if you want to believe a belief system that doesn't agree with the majority of the world, such as the Earth being flat or even hollow, either way, your belief system will inform your actions, and this dictates the quality of your life. And
it's like, if you want to believe a belief system, I mean, I don't think people, I mean, so maybe some people want to believe things, but it's like, I mean, maybe it's just personally me, but it's like, I can't make myself believe something I don't, you know? I just can't.
Then we have to ask the question, if someone believed in something that was completely untrue, but this person had a happier life, would we find the argument that this belief, even if untrue, was a good one to hold? Asked in a simpler way, is it better to
people believe untrue things all the time. That's human.
Be right, or to be happy, or fulfilled? It seems in the end, this is something for each of us to decide. For while so many look to these conspiracy theories with fear of the influence of control imposed upon them, does that not also indicate that their beliefs limit what they are capable of doing, based on the control systems that they believe are there. However, if at the highest level of creative powers behind...
The only reason you can't fly, I mean, maybe that's the reason I couldn't fly as a teenager and everybody else could. You have to watch the mixtape playthrough to get that joke. But I just didn't believe I could fly, so I couldn't. Oh, I see.
All things in the universe is truly benevolent, as nearly every spirituality of the world has purported since the dawn of man. Then that would also indicate that the deep state and all...
If you can say every religion in the world is right, that means he's the most correct, I think, is his logic here.
All the negative powers that be are also a part of the divine order, even necessary for us.
What the hell is happening to that guy? That looks
perhaps
painful.
in learning the lessons of who we are on our great journey of discovery as humans. These conspiracy theories, while certainly dark and often terrible, could even be a fundamental necessity in order for Ascension to take place one day in the future.
Believe in conspiracy theories and you will be spiritually ascended. Okay, Jordan. So I can just choose to believe in the reptilians. The funniest conspiracy theory. And then, I will be spiritually enlightened and ascend. Okay, cool, awesome, that sounds fun.
Well,
he did bring up David Icke, too, in one of the earlier ones he did.
For some, the Ascension paradigm resonates true and certain. For others, there is doubt and skepticism, fear and loathing.
Yeah, I have no, it's just skepticism.
It is for each of us to find our own truth and to embrace all that life has to offer.
You can find your own truth all you like, Jordan, but reality won't play along, unfortunately. There are hard limits to reality, whether you like it or not. You can't just believe those away, and the people who are telling you about them aren't trying to be mean or cruel, they're just trying to make you accept reality.
Open hearts and minds. What happens if you embrace the Ascension path, but at the end of your life, you still cannot fly? Does that make you wrong? Or does that simply mean that you have more work to do on your soul path?
Guys, just believe this for the next, like, 60 years, and I swear we'll all fly someday, alright?
Before you can get there.
Keep giving him money for his seminars and his rap album.
We may also be reminded of the legendary 4-minute mile, in which for as long as history can tell, humanity believed it was impossible to run a mile in only 4 minutes. That is, until 1954, when Roger Bannister completed the run in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
I guess it means we will be able to fly if we just believe hard enough then, huh?
Then, like explosions going off around the world, the 4-minute mile was broken, again and again and again.
And then Olympic sports got even more intense and people, like, wreck their bodies to be competitive athletes.
As the belief system that it was impossible was shattered, suddenly a new paradigm was entered, and now running 4-minute miles are commonplace. What this shows us, it would only take one person publicly demonstrating that they can levitate.
Yeah, it's... Lucy in the chat says Jesse Owens did it first and he was black. But Jordan... that was the white guy.
Hate their body, revealing this gift to the world that would trigger the ultimate of revelations. Tremendous chaos, most likely, as belief systems and paradigms shift.
Oh my god, a man ran a mile in 4 minutes. My entire reality is shattered. What is he even trying to say? Replica Rabbit, you know why.
all over the world, and we begin to emerge.
We were discussing earlier how Jordan hasn't really said anything racist, but he said and done some brow-raising things.
Ascended reality. Then again, as we've seen time and time again, there are countless ways in which ideas like this are covered up, laughed at, insulted, or avoided altogether. As we've seen...
Yeah, well, I can't, like, so if everybody, like, ascends, can we all just, like, run a mile in, like, 2 minutes if we want to? If we just believe it's possible? I could get my body with my terrible knees to do that?
The mainstream world likes to focus on specific things, at specific times, and facilitate micro...
Oh, wait, I just have to believe I don't have bad knees, and then I won't, right, Jordan? That's how that works, right?
And mass action through everything from fear to censorship. If there's one thing we've learned from this whole conspiracy theory of everything, is that this information is out there, but it's also not the most important thing to most people. But
because it's a bunch of bullshit, Jordan, that's why people don't care.
As long as the mainstream dictates the global conversation, and spirituality is hidden and veiled within entertainment as pure fiction, then perhaps these future transcendent realities—
Oh my god, he does think Iron Man is a documentary. Like, I find so many spiritual things in Marvel movies.
will always be just out of our reach, as it's up to each of us to make personal decisions that steer us towards what we want, and realize that on the path up the mountain of transcendence lies an ever-increasing mountain of traps. The demiurge is very tricky, and it won't let go unless you shine your light bright enough to free yourself.
Okay, well, you said the demiurge was the holographic universe, and now it's like a sentient being? Alright, Jordan.
From the veil of the night. For the nature of the demiurge is to steer us further into
Marvel
the illusions,
Marvel movies are my religion!
To work our way out. But hey, all of this—
that's just a theory.
A conspiracy theory of everything. And you know—
how dare you stand where he stood, Jordan?
You know what? The truth is, this is one of our goals that we hold for ourselves within our very own mystery school, which was established to help facilitate the evolution—
Now, by the way, you can buy seminars if you want to hear more of this gobbledygook, but pay for it this time.
—consciousness for those who truly want to do the work and go the distance.
The demiurge is a thing from Gnosticism, where it is the god that created physical reality, but it's not the true god. That's a god, like, higher above it, and so we have to believe in the true god and ignore, like, the evil god that actually created the earth and us. The TLDR on that.
Each and every day, this growing community is actively discussing and working towards this kind of goal, but understanding that to get there, we must heal our inner wounds, balance our energies, and take leaps and bounds forward into embodying the highest expression of our souls. And so, if this message rings true for—
highest expression of his soul, talking about Marvel movies and ripping off Batpat because he's not funny on his own.
For you, and you want to join us in this adventure, this
work,
please use the link below to come and experience Spirit Mystery.
Is this the one that doesn't exist anymore? Oh no, this one does exist. Yeah, he does have, like, a longer version of this, but it's so boring and he says nothing. I don't think we're gonna look into the wider— Landemic. Oh god, he's got an anti-vax friend doing a documentary. Oh god, oh no!
Jessel sent a super chat. Sigh, you're just biased because you're an atheist, trying to go by logic and agreed reasoning. How unscientific.
I know,
JK.
right? Oh, you guys have been banned from TED Talks, I wonder why.
Easy Walker sent a super chat. Finally got YouTube Premium because the AD were getting annoying, so here is super chat and premium money.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm very pro-premium,
Super Easy Walker sent a super chat. Would you use a sensory deprivation therapy?
Maybe. I've considered it, but that's another thing I kind of don't trust my brain to betray me on.
Belonic111 sent a super chat. Guys, trust me, the dimensional merge is coming.
Any day you'll be standing next to Bugs Bunny after you ascend.
5-Tar Sailor sent a super chat. Accidentally took a 3-hour nap. How much Jordan tent have I missed?
Well, you missed the entire Ascension video, but it was pretty boring, and we had more fun when I was just, like, looking up every guy he mentioned who he was citing the sources of, so... oh, take the red pill, guys. Oh, how much does it cost, Jordan? How much does it cost? Why do you need my email if it's free? So, are you ready to see how far the rabbit hole goes? I mean, I think we got a pretty good taste of it on here. So now we have, there is a little Chemtrails video and a couple other, like, smaller videos. He cut all of these into a movie, and then there's the 90-minute special, which, I mean, let's just hear the beginning of it to see if, like, this is another, like, mega cut or something. Oh, yeah. A 90-minute version of the whole documentary. I guess we could have just watched this over 3 streams. But I didn't do that. So, yeah, this is a mega cut. So he has 2 different mega cuts.
In 2020.
Yeah, you have 2 different mega cuts. That's so weird. Alright. Okay, the Clown Chakra video is like the one funny thing he ever did. So let's see what he's gonna say about fucking chemtrails.
For decades, a mystery in the skies has captivated and deeply concerned people across the world.
Okay, This was a year ago, so he's less quiet in this one.
Chemtrails, the long white streaks left behind by high-flying airplanes, have sparked fierce debates among scientists, researchers, and skeptics alike. To some, these trails are thought of as harmless condensation trails, contrails, formed when water vapor in jet exhaust freezes at high altitudes.
That's exactly what they are. He's going to argue that they're not.
But this simply cannot be true, because contrails dissipate very quickly, while chemtrails linger for hours and hours, indicating that they're...
It depends on the weather, the humidity of the day, stuff like that.
Something else being dispersed. Thus, many have come to see them as something far more calculated and sinister, deliberate chemical dispersals aimed at achieving specific, hidden agendas.
And nobody's ever, like, you know, found any of the substance they drop on us and tested it independently. You know, even though they're way too, like, they're so high up, what they're dispersing, if they were dispersing something, wouldn't even cover the area they're over. It would get blown miles and miles and miles and miles away. So, like, it would have to be like a crop duster if it was actually going to, like, drop things on people. So, yeah, the atmosphere isn't consistent, Jordan. He's like, but cloud in sky, and clouds stay longer in sky. That's not right. We get the creepy music again. Dun, 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 dun. I think this copyright struck me before. Well, not struck me, but blocked me. Da, 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 da. This is super serious. Believe Jordan.
The modern chemtrail theory began to take shape in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when observers noticed the unusual persistence in these trails, forming hazy patterns.
I'm pretty sure, like, fucking contrails like this existed before the 90s. So it was just in the 90s that some idiots started going, they're spraying us with chemicals!
Sometimes seeming like a deliberate crisscross in the sky.
Well, here it says, Agent Orange was dispersed at treetop level. Yes, you would have to if you were going to disperse something over an area, because 40,000 miles up in the air, it's definitely not going to reach the area it's over, and will probably be dispersed before it even hits the ground.
Many began to question whether something unusual was occurring in the upper atmosphere. The release of a 1996 U.S. Air Force report...
People don't know how clouds work. 101. That's what this is.
...titled Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025, added fuel to the fire. The document speculated on future military uses of weather modification technology, including its potential to enhance or disrupt military operations. Around the same time, growing attention was being paid to the HAARP research facility in Alaska, a high-frequency ionosphere research program suspected by some to be part of secret experiments involving weather control, electromagnetic manipulation.
Or it's just measuring the ionosphere and not doing anything sinister. Oh my god, they're studying weather. They must be up to something.
Manipulation, and even mind control. By 1999...
Yes, they're gonna mind control us through weather towers, Jordan. Yeah.
Late-night radio host Art Bell began discussing chemtrail theories on his widely popular show, introducing the concept to...
Oh, he was a radio DJ. He must have known everything. Just because, like, I'm a streamer and I'm always right about everything, guys, so...
larger audience. That same year, Clifford Carnicom, a scientist and one of the earliest investigators, conducted a series of atmospheric tests.
Scientist in what? These conspiracy guys and these new age woo-woo guys often do not have a degree related to the thing they're claiming.
Carnicom's experiments revealed high levels of unusual particles in the air, including metallic particles, strange fibers, and crystalline substances. His findings suggested...
Wow, you find crystalline substances way up high where water vapor freezes. You don't say!
Something unnatural was being introduced into the atmosphere. These discoveries became the foundation of the chemtrail theory, and the term chemtrails was born. Carnicom's subsequent documentary, Aerosol Crimes, released in 2005, presented evidence of atmospheric manipulation and inspired a new wave of researchers to join the investigation. Over the years, chemtrail researchers have identified a wide range of suspected motives for these operations, each more unsettling than the last. One of the most commonly proposed explanations is weather modification. Geoengineering techniques such as cloud seeding, which involve spraying silver iodide to induce rainfall, are well documented and widely used.
Silver iodide in the Atmosphere? Silver iodide. You can see this, he just brings up this stuff and just wants you to nod along with it. Atmospheric silver iodide is primarily used as a nucleating agent in cloud seeding to stimulate precipitation. Because its crystalline structure closely mimics that of natural ice, it forces supercooled water droplets in clouds to freeze, which grow heavy enough to fall as rain or snow. So it's just triggering a cloud to rain. Which, yeah, is weather manipulation. But he's making it sound like a supervillain thing. You know, like, oh, they got a weather machine, they're gonna cause tornadoes in places, and blah! So yeah, so it just acts the way ice would act in a cloud normally, and makes the water in clouds freeze and then drop to the earth, which is what rain is. Jordan, do you know that clouds are water? Jordan? Jordan, do you know that? Jordan, we learned this in 3rd grade, Jordan. So, yeah, so cloud seeding is a real thing, but, like, you can't just, like, manipulate weather patterns with it. That's completely unrealistic.
Chemtrail theorists suggest these techniques may have been taken to extreme levels, with the military or private organizations attempting to manipulate global weather patterns.
Be scared of clouds!
These could include attempts to reduce the effects of climate change, creating artificial droughts or storms, or
why would it be bad if we were trying to mitigate the effects of climate change? That would be a good thing, wouldn't it, Jordan? I mean, if we could manipulate weather like this, we could make sure crops grow perfectly all year round, you know? Like...
using the weather as a weapon in covert warfare. The role...
Garbo says, remember when Arbor Skeptic says that these could cause earthquakes? No! I think I blocked out a lot of that stream.
The role of HARP is often tied to these theories, with some claiming it enhances the atmospheric effects of chemtrails, allowing precise control over weather systems, or disrupting enemy nations' agriculture and infrastructure.
I mean, that would be pretty fucked if we could disrupt other people's agriculture, but we can make the clouds rain. That doesn't mean we can just make the clouds go away completely.
Other theories propose that chemtrails are being used for psychological or biological manipulation. Some believe that chemicals dispersed through chemtrails suppress...
Well, this would be a very inefficient way to do that, so why would they? If they wanted to do this to us, Jordan, they could just put the mind control drugs in every food thing available in the supermarket. Which maybe that's what corn syrup is, I don't know. But, like, there are so many more efficient ways to do this that you wouldn't even notice if they were doing it to us. Why would they? That's the other thing with conspiracy theories. They act like the evil people are gonna make everything really obvious. Like, all the evil things they're doing are gonna be really obvious. Like, no, if they wanted to control us all, if they wanted to mind control us all they would have to do is put the mind control agent in the water supply. Make it tasteless. None of us would even know. So why would they do that instead of dropping random chemicals from 40,000 feet in the air, which won't even land where they want them to? You know? like, this is so, it's not even, like, this is so easily debunked. Like, why would they be this inefficient if this is what they wanted to do?
Human consciousness, keeping people docile, compliant, and disconnected from their spiritual...
Again, they could just put Prozac in the water supply and we'd never know.
...potential. Others suggest that these chemicals are linked to health issues, such as respiratory illnesses.
Yeah, now I got the AI. Now I got the AI in full fucking swing, because this is from a year ago.
Immune diseases, and even conditions like Morgellons syndrome, a rare and controversial skin disorder. While mainstream science has not...
Why is the skin disorder controversial, Jordan? Is it woo? Is it woo? Morgellons... It must be because he singled it out. Morgellons... a disease I'm seeing. This disease is a controversial, poorly understood condition characterized by skin sores and the sensation of crawling, biting, or stinging. A key feature is the presence of unusual thread-like fibers or filaments embedded in or protruding from the skin. So yeah, it's pseudoscience, it sounds like. Medical professionals and researchers were largely split into two main schools of thought regarding the origins of Morgellons. Infectious/somatic origins. Some researchers and patient advocates propose it is a physiological reaction to an infectious agent, such as tick-borne pathogens, like whatever that Borrelia burgdorferi. It's a bacteria. Oh, it's the bacteria responsible for Lyme disease. Well, yeah, to me this would make, like, not everywhere has Lyme disease, but Lyme disease carrying ticks are spreading throughout the United States and Canada. So some people could get Lyme disease and they wouldn't know what the fuck it is because they've never encountered it before. Like my entire life on the East Coast, we've been warned about ticks and Lyme disease because it's so common here. But if you go west, ticks with Lyme disease are less and less common, and some people have never even heard of the disease. So somebody could get Lyme disease and just not know it and have a skin rash from it and not know what the fuck they're looking at, you know? And Lyme disease itself is very hard to detect. That's been a big problem. There's been people who have had Lyme disease for years and years, but it's always come up negative, and they finally actually get treated for it, and oops, turns out that was what their problem was, you know? So, yeah, like I was so mad when I found out Lyme disease doesn't exist everywhere. I was so fucking mad. You know? Studies have shown that the fibers are not textile materials, but rather biological proteins like keratin and collagen produced by the patient's own skin cells. Okay, so their skin cells are overproducing keratin. That sounds like it could be a symptom of Lyme disease, to be honest. Delusional infestation. Psychiatric. Most mainstream medical organizations, including the Mayo Clinic and the Cleveland Clinic, classify Morgellons as a form of delusional infestation, formerly known as delusional parasitiosis. Under the framework, the sensations and fiber extrusions are understood as a misinterpretation of skin irritation and healing. Kind of just sounds like Lyme disease and people in places where there wasn't previously Lyme disease having no idea what they're looking at. That kind of is what it sounds like to me, to be honest.
Syndrome, a rare and controversial skin disorder.
So probably not caused by chemtrails, Jordan. Probably caused by fucking ticks.
Science has not verified these claims. The persistence of these theories raise questions about the long-term effects of airborne particulates on human health.
Node Armstrong did a spirit science video. I might have watched that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it. But I know Jordan's not a good person, but he amuses me.
Further, the presence of metallic particles, such as aluminum and barium in the atmosphere, as suggested by independent studies.
You guys don't have to feel bad about making fun of him because he's a piece of shit, so there you go.
Has led some to speculate that these chemicals could interact with electromagnetic fields to alter human behavior or even target specific populations.
So now they're gonna put metallic particles in the air that will manipulate electromagnetic fields. How would you even fucking control that? Yeah, he's, like I said, we were looking at a drawing he did in the Ascension video 5 years ago, and it was actually a really good drawing, but now he's just using AI shit for everything.
Theorists claim that these particles are deliberately introduced to conduct experiments on mass populations without their consent. The more elaborate...
You can see, like, he has no idea how anything works. Like, oh, yeah, planes could just seed metallic particles in the air that would interact with electromagnetic fields, and we would be able to control those somehow. By what mechanism do you think that would work? I'm very confused.
Spirit theories argue that chemtrails are designed to fulfill multiple agendas simultaneously.
Oh.
These include controlling food populations by altering soil chemistry to favor genetically modified crops, manipulating global populations.
I love people who hand-wring over genetically modified crops. Most of the fruits and vegetables you buy in the grocery store are already genetically modified. We have bred them into those forms. Like, have you seen a wild banana compared to the ones you buy in the grocery store? We spent hundreds, maybe thousands of years breeding those bananas to look the way they do. Meaning they're genetically modified. That's all that fucking means. It doesn't mean they're like injecting radiation into the food to make it like mutate. That's not what genetically modified food means. But that's what people imagine when they hear that term, because people are very scientifically illiterate. Yes, all modern crops are GMOs, and it lets us grow more of them. It lets us grow ones of higher quality. It lets us feed more people. It's a good thing, Jordan. Just because genetically modified sounds spooky doesn't mean it's anything bad once you learn what it actually is.
By reducing fertility rates, and even preparing the atmosphere for advanced holographic or electromagnetic technologies. Photographs of unmarked military...
I do think we'll have holographic technology soon. Probably within the next 10 to 20 years. And I think we'll have, like, LED and smart clothes in the next 5 to 10 years. That's my futurist opinion.
Jets leaving these trails have further fueled suspicions, with many asking why the chemicals being released cannot be analyzed more widely. Despite widespread discussion, mainstream
What do you mean? What's stopping you from figuring out where the chemicals are falling? Because this is totally happening. Why don't you figure out where the chemicals are falling in all your research, and then get a sample and study it independently? You can do that. What is stopping you exactly from doing that? Non-GMO and organic or marketing ploys. Of course they are. Of course they fucking are.
Despite widespread discussion, mainstream scientific and governmental organizations have consistently denied the existence of chemtrails. In response to the public growing concern, the Environmental Protection Agency, the NSA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the NOAA issued a joint fact sheet explaining contrails as a natural byproduct of jet engine exhaust in cold, humid air. It seemed to most paying attention, however, that the swift and coordinated denial was seen not as clarification, but as evidence of a cover-up.
They shouldn't have to clarify it. You as a grown fucking adult should know how fucking water vapor works and how clouds work. They don't need to baby you. Of course it was a swift denial because what you're saying is complete and utter horseshit, and you have to prove it. The burden of proof is on you making the claim.
This tension has only deepened in the internet age, where searches for chemtrails yield millions of results, the majority of which are articles attempting to debunk the theory. Critics argue that this is evidence.
It's very easy to debunk. Again, if they wanted to mind control all of us, why would they do it in such an inefficient way? Why not just put it in the water supply?
Of collusion between tech companies and governments to suppress the truth, though tech companies claim they are simply combating misinformation. But the story doesn't end here. In fact, it seems to connect to an even larger and more ominous theory, Project Bluebeam. First proposed by Canadian journalist Sergei Monast in the 1990s, Project Bluebeam describes a covert plan to use advanced technologies to stage a global crisis, one designed to bring about a new world order. According to Monast, the plan involves 4 stages, each more elaborate than the last. The first stage involves undermining existing...
If this was all true, and he's telling it to everybody, why would he still be alive? If this was all true, why wouldn't he be disappeared? Jordan, come on.
Religious beliefs by fabricating...
Well, we finished the Ascension video, Theorize Your Pumpkin. It was kind of boring, and now we're on this little Chemtrails video he made a year ago, and it's a little more peppy, at least.
Theological discoveries that challenge traditional doctrines. Ancient artifacts or texts could be discovered and used to suggest that widely accepted religious histories are false, shaking...
that kind of sounds like what you like to do, Jordan. Like, oh, in the 70s, we totally discovered this ancient wisdom that says everything we thought was wrong. That's like that's your human history movie, Jordan. So you saying you want to brainwash people by making up false history?
Faiths and preparing humanity for the next step, the introduction of a new universal religion. The second stage involves the use of holographic technology to project images of religious figures or deities into the skies over different regions of the world. These projections would communicate messages to their followers, appearing as the fulfillment of prophecies or divine interventions. Christians might...
It would be really hard to just, like, make a hologram happen in a big public space. Like, well, I guess they'd have to put some chemtrails by first to make a screen of particles that they could project it onto. I mean, a hologram still needs to be projected onto something, you know?
Might see Jesus, Muslims might see Muhammad, and Hindus might see Krishna. But eventually, all these figures would converge into a single universal deity who claims to unify all faiths under one new religion.
Jordan, that's you! Jordan, that's your whole career. You take every belief in the world and try to make it into one big monomyth. Jordan, are you telling us you want to be the Antichrist and usher in the New World Order? Is that what you're telling us right now? Jordan, is this a confession?
The third stage employs electromagnetic wave technology to simulate telepathic communication. Monast claimed that technologies capable of transmitting audio directly into people's minds, so-called voice-to-skull systems, would be used to implant thoughts and commands, creating the illusion of divine communication.
I think that would be very detectable if you were able to beam audio into someone's brain. Do you, like, hear your thoughts as audio? Like, do you hear your thoughts auditorily? Like, maybe my theory that he just, like, wrecked his brain on LSD, and it's true.
The final stage is the most dramatic.
Jordan, maybe you're schizophrenic, Jordan. That would also explain a lot, Jordan.
The staging of a massive global false flag event. This could take the form of an extraterrestrial invasion, a staged apocalypse, or a divine reckoning. The goal is to create fear and disorientation so intense that humanity willingly submits to a one-world government as the only...
Who would this benefit, though? Each country would want to be the one-world leader, so this would never work.
...solution to survival.
Well, like, a small group of people are gonna pull all this off and then become a one-world government? Like, just question mark, profit? I mean...
Chemtrails, some theorists argue, play a critical role in this stage by preparing the atmosphere for large-scale holographic projections or dispersing chemicals that alter human perception, making the illusion more convincing.
If you just give everybody a bunch of chemicals that alters human perception, you couldn't guarantee they all see the same thing, Jordan.
The whole theory is corroborated by Wernher von Braun, a pivotal figure in rocket technology and space exploration, and is—
Oh wow, rocket technology and space exploration, so that definitely means he must be correct about a new world order trying to use chemtrails to make screens for holograms. Yeah.
Often associated with a narrative involving a staged alien invasion. This connection primarily stems from accounts by Dr. Carol Rosen, who worked with von Braun in the 1970s. Rosen recounted that von Braun warned of a sequence of fabricated threats, ranging from rogue nations to asteroids, culminating in a host extraterrestrial invasion.
Yeah, he sounds like a nut. So, what are his credentials? Why should we listen to him? Just because he worked in rockets? Why is this spaceship backwards?
Intended to justify the expansion of military capabilities into space. While von Braun's warnings, as conveyed by Rosen, and the tenets of Project Bluebeam share thematic similarities, particularly the idea of a fabricated alien threat to achieve global control, it's important to note that von Braun himself did not publicly document or endorse the specifics of Project Bluebeam. The connections between his alleged warnings—
No, he didn't give any specifics. He just said there's a big conspiracy called Bluebeam out there. Just trust me, bro.
And Monast's theory are primarily drawn from interpretations and extrapolations within conspiracy theory circles. But still, the narrative of a hoax alien invasion as a means to—
You're right, Giselle. He finally pointed out a woman contributing to these things. Everybody he cites, all the ancient masters, they're always dudes.
Consolidate power is a recurring theme. The ultimate goal—
5-star sales is von Braun was also the pioneer of the Nazi rocket program. Really? Let's look that up, because we've been having some suspicious thoughts about Jordan's maybe deeper, truer beliefs when it comes to race, and yeah, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, he was a Nazi, or at least he worked for Nazi Germany. German American, okay, so maybe he, no, okay, he became a member of the Nazi Party when the Allgemeine SS to support his rocket work. He led the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and later of rocket and space technology in the US. And this is just a year ago. And like I said, Jordan seems to be, like, really leading into, like, this hardcore Christian shit. And, like, he's getting, like, into this kind of, like, red pill shit. You know? And yeah. Yeah. We can see where this is going. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan starts falling into these extremist beliefs. So, why are you citing a Nazi for why we should believe this, Jordan? Yeah, he was part of Project Paperclip, so he got moved to the US and got immunity, so he could give us his science. He was an opportunist who joined the Nazi Party to continue his work on rockets for Nazi Germany. He applied for membership in the party on 12th of November in 1937. Oh, he was an OG one then, huh? Wrote that 10 years after von Braun obtained his Nazi Party membership, he signed an affidavit for the U.S. Army, though he stated the incorrect year. He was like, oh, I had to do it. I just had to, guys. But now that I've been spirited away to America, I'll renounce it. Oh, von Braun's later attitude toward the Nazi regime of the late 1930s and early 1940s was complex. He said that he had been so influenced by the early Nazi promise of release from the post-World War I economic effects that his patriotic feelings had increased. In a 1952 memoir article, he admitted that at the time he fared relatively rather well under totalitarianism. Yet he also wrote that to us Hitler was still only a pompous fool with a Charlie Chaplin mustache. That he perceived him as another Napoleon who was wholly without scruples, a godless man who thought himself the only god. Yeah, you worked for him. But yeah, okay. So again, Jordan, why is this your guy to convince us of this? Thank you for throwing pussy at the screen for to lighten up the stream a little bit. Dear God, Jordan. Oh, he's gonna become a Nazi, isn't he? I just know it.
The goal, though, of Project Bluebeam is to consolidate power under a single centralized authority. National borders would dissolve, and religious and cultural distinctions would be erased. Humanity would be unified under a single digital currency, a universal faith, and constant surveillance.
Hear that, guys? We're gonna be unified under Bitcoin.
By advanced technologies. Fear and manipulation would ensure compliance, as fabricated crises provide justification for authoritarian control.
Yeah, but Madlad, I don't think Dr. Hans Asperger was actually a member of the Nazi Party. This guy was a card-carrying National Socialist Party member. So, that's pretty different.
Cool. Now,
like, existing under Nazi rule because you didn't have a choice is one thing. Joining the actual party is another.
Some might consider, besides the darker aspects of this agenda, that this plan would have many benefits. Imagine being able to travel anywhere in the world without need of a passport, to have the whole world working with unified systems, no more war between nations, and never needing to...
You think there would never be any kind of wars if there was a one-world government? No, I doubt.
Convert money to different
This is some InfoWars shit.
But if all of this was done by a nefarious secret government, then could it really be a good thing? Critics of Project Bluebeam and chemtrail theories argue that they lack evidence.
Well, if it's shadowy government giving us all these beneficial things, is it really good, though?
And rely on speculation and paranoia. However, for those who believe, these theories represent a warning about the dangers of unchecked technological power and the erosion of personal freedoms. They raise questions about what might be hidden in plain sight and challenge us to stay vigilant in a world where truth is increasingly difficult to discern. Ultimately, it's up to each of us to be strong.
Truth is increasingly difficult to discern, so listen to my bullshit.
Within our hearts, and stand true to the truth, no matter what befalls our species in the future. As always, time will tell. The skies above may hold...
Wasn't this about fucking chemtrails?
Secrets we are only beginning to uncover. Whether or not these theories are
paranoia,
true,
everybody's coming to get me.
Technology, governance, and the future of human freedom.
Uh-huh. And? What does this have to do with chemtrails, Jordan?
Step into a world where the mysteries of existence, the soul, and the cosmos are laid bare. The Hermetica Rebirth of Wisdom is a revolutionary retelling of one of history's most...
Oh, this is just an advertisement for another one of your fucking videos. Yeah, this is like pre-Elixir stuff.
Everything. But then, what do we call the space in which everything moves?
Oh look, we have anime Jordan again, who has far much more hair than real
Hermes
Jordan.
Smiled slightly. That space, Asclepius, is what we call the bodiless.
We might have to watch this shit though. Look how awkward this is. Oh my god. That'll definitely go on the pile for future Jordan videos.
At Miss Jasmine 305 sent a super chat. Youngish man yells at cloud low.
30-year-old man yells at cloud, yeah. But so yeah, he has this whole Hermetica series. You can see the awful AI backgrounds. But this looks like the kind of animation style he was using for Elixir. But it's like, it's Jordan talking to slightly darker, older Jordan. About the... Well, Sketchy Sam, the end of this chemtrail video, which just ended with a general woo-woo message again, has... The final chapter is an ad for, like, one of his other things. Which we might have to watch sometime. Look at the Zelda CDI shit.
Beyond light. It is the very source of the soul.
You guys have the same fucking voice! He couldn't even change his voice between characters. Come on, Jordan. You couldn't put on a funny accent or something, or deepen your voice a little bit or something? They both look like they drank cactus juice. They're not even making eye contact. Look at those terrible eye lines. Yeah, that's definitely something we're gonna have to watch in the future. So, let's Let's look at Trump's time travel conspiracy. Let's see what the fuck this is.
Time travel conspiracy about...
It's apparently a short, but, and we have to look at Jordan, and oh god, he's getting gray, isn't he? His beard's getting pretty thin.
At Gordon Lemon 3738 sent a super chat. As a space nerd, the Von Bon stuff makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean, history is pretty problematic, but that doesn't mean you can't like space rockets, you know? He used to use a voice filter, but here's old Jordan, 9 months ago. This is how he's looking these days, guys. Looking a little rough. I say as if my hair isn't also graying, but...
Time travel conspiracy about Trump, too, which we made. Actually, there's a video, I'll put a link here in the description, about the Trump...
Oh, there's a whole video of this, is there? See, again, he is ripe for future content, guys. I'm sorry these conspiracy videos were more boring than I expected, but we're gonna get back into full-on crack pipe Jordan next time we talk about him.
Conspiracy, the link between him and Tesla, or like his uncle, and how there's this story from like 100 years ago or something like that, where little Baron Trump was a time traveler, and then Trump was...
Oh my god, he's trying to be a Quirk McChungus YouTube boy. Oh, he's really bad at it. He's even... No, Johnny Galvatron was still worse.
the last president, and it's weird. Like, it's weird. Is there anything to it? You know, time will tell. You know, if the whole world...
He's been, like, changing his format up, like, every 6 months. He must be really struggling.
Explodes in the next 4 years. Maybe Trump is the last president, but that remains to be seen.
Baron Trump is a time traveler, and Nikola Tesla made it possible.
Kinda sounds like he might like Trump. You're Canadian. If you do like Trump, that's really stupid, Jordan.
In 1943, Nikola Tesla died in a New York hotel. Among his confiscated belongings was a formula he called the chrono-frequency equation, a theoretical method of bending time using electromagnetic fields. The government took his papers and gave them to John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, who claimed they were worthless. But this is where it gets scary. Soon after, the U.S. Navy began Project Rainbow using ideas taken from Tesla's secret notes. Officially, it was to make ships invisible to radar. But on October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge disappeared without a trace from radar, then reappeared miles away. Seconds later, it was back in Philadelphia as if it had never moved. Years before any of this, in the late 18...
No, you can't consider that maybe the radar fucked up. The ship must have teleported. It couldn't be like the radar just fucked up, right?
Hundreds. A writer named Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a strange story about a boy named Baron Trump, guided by a man named John, who finds portals under New York. At first it was seen as fantasy, but over 100 years later, readers noticed odd links to the Trump family. Even the name of Donald Trump's youngest...
Didn't Trump's grandfather change his name to Trump when he immigrated to the U.S.? So the family name wouldn't be Trump 100 years ago if their line did go back that far. So, this is already debunked. They've only been called the Trumps for, like, 3 or 4 generations.
Son, Baron.
So maybe we'll just leave that there for now, put that on the shelf for a moment. We might come back to it, because there's a thing there. Now,
Jordan, please stop trying to be quirky. You're not as cringe as Johnny Galvatron, but you're getting there.
Of course, on the other side, Trump is such a divisive character, because so many people, at least up until recently, had so much love and faith and trust for this guy, doing the things that he was doing. And then on the other side, you know, a lot of people really don't like him. It's clear that he's weird. You know, the thing that I really want...
Why did you mostly show people cheering for him and not the other side? And you're kind of just saying, oh, he's divisive. Or divisive, as you said. Between that and the whole, like, dancing right up to the line of admitting to being an anti-vaxxer before darting away stuff, I wonder about Jordan sometimes.
I want to see from Trump, and I just don't think I ever will, is authenticity. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if he went and drank ayahuasca at Rhythmia, and what would happen? I feel like maybe...
Oh my god, I wish Trump would come to this retreat and drink ayahuasca with me. I could introduce him to Emma Watson, Jesus. He is fantasizing about doing ayahuasca with Trump. Oh, but he's weird. He's divisive and weird, but I really want to do drugs with him, guys. It would be so cool. Wouldn't that be cool? You're a sad, strange little man, Jordan River.
Yeah, and what would happen? I feel like maybe his face might open up, and he might reveal one of those little aliens from Men in Black, and then the alien will be like, this is how much I can move my arms. Because this is how he talks all the time. His robot.
Wow, he's trying really hard to be quirky and relatable. It's Embarrassing.
But body of Trump, it only has a linear extension of like this much. Or maybe just wears really tight suits, I don't know. Like, do you think he's ever like done yoga or even stretched in his life?
What are you thinking about Donald Trump stretching in his tight suits? What is this? Jordan! Alright, let's move on to what Project Sigma. Please tell me we're not talking about Sigma males now. Were there any supers between this? Okay, no, it's just Jordan fantasizing about doing ayahuasca with Trump while he stretches in his tight suits. Okay.
Did the intelligence agencies of the United States government use reverse-engineered alien technology to contact ETs somewhere else in the universe?
No.
And did this attempt at communication result in a top-secret deal that brought even more advanced technology into American hands?
No.
According to certain allegedly leaked intelligence documents...
Oh god, he's really doubling down on the fucking AI. What is this? Top secret executive briefing, Project Sigma, compartmented. A1 signal intercept protocols, purpose to evaluate and establish controlled protocols for electromagnetic signal interception believed to originate from non-terrestrial sources. I thought this might be funnier. Whatever.
This is exactly what happened. These documents claim that in 1952, in the aftermath of several recovered UFO crash sites across the late 1940s and early 50s, an unofficial consortium composed of key members of the CIA...
You know, could you at least use the same style in your AI clips? Could you at least just do everything in one style so it's not this disgusting mishmash? I mean, it still doesn't look good. It still doesn't look right. But the least you could do is keep it visually consistent, Jordan. Come on.
And NSA quietly formed under the codename Project Sigma. The purpose was twofold: to understand and reverse engineer the recovered technology.
I like how this is like... Oh, this one's even worse, but it's just like a bunch of identical guys talking. Oh, yes, it's me and my 3 clones going over the project notes, yes.
The recovered technology.
What the fuck is this? What's going on here?
And to use that technology to make direct contact with the intelligence behind it. According to the account...
Are these like the Palladians? Are these the Palladians? Is that where you're going with this?
They succeeded. After identifying a mysterious grouping of asteroids believed to be connected with previous ET activity, the group transmitted a highly classified encoded signal using an experimental device built from alien principles. To their...
When, where did this happen? What proof do you have of this? This seems like... I'm gonna slow him down because he's talking faster now. But, like, this just seems like a story you're making up?
Astonishment, the reply came almost immediately. As a result of this exchange, the documents allege that there were 2 face-to-face meetings between President Dwight...
President, spelled wrong. I just wanted to point that out.
Eisenhower, and representatives of 2 different extraterrestrial...
Oh my god, I called it! It's the Pleiades! It's the fucking Pleiades! So yes, there are people who believe that there are these tall Aryan aliens that come from the Pleiades star cluster where there aren't any planets there. It is literally a cluster of stars, but Pleiadians sounds really cool, and people like to say they commune with them in their psychic shit, you know, and it does seem a little racist because they're all like tall, blonde, Aryan-looking super people, you know? Well, the 2 genders of aliens, you know, the Aryan race and Greys. That's all you got out there.
Terrestrial races. The first meeting reportedly occurred on the evening of February 20th, 1954, at Edwards Air Force Base.
God, none of this moves right. Oh god, you can just clock it as AI immediately. At least, you didn't even spell February right either. What is wrong with you, Jordan? Do you proofread anything?
In California. Curiously, on that very evening, Eisenhower vanished from public view, sparking rumors that he had suddenly died. The White House responded by claiming the president had...
Do you have, like, a news article or anything to corroborate this?
Required emergency dental work and was recovering. According to the leaked accounts, however, Eisenhower was not with a dentist, but inside a sealed hangar, meeting with a race of tall, fair-featured extraterrestrials.
Yeah, see, they just told us that he had to get his teeth fixed. What really happened is he went to a secret facility where he talked to the Aryan aliens, who are superior to us in every way. Yes, I have heard of indigo children. luckily that trend has passed.
But inside a sealed hangar,
yeah, the
meeting
Pleiadians.
with a race of tall, fair-featured extraterrestrials known
fair-featured
as the Nordics or the Blues. These
people even call them the Nordics. You're telling me this isn't just Aryan space aliens?
Meeting with a race of tall, fair-featured extraterrestrials known as the Nordics or the Blues. These beings allegedly offered advanced technologies in medicine, energy generation, and propulsion technologies.
So how do you explain, like, something that looks like a human evolving the, like, almost exact same way as us, like, millions of light years away, Jordan? How do you explain that? Also, their outfits keep changing.
That, if accepted, could have moved America rapidly away from—
Yeah, it's just racist white master race, but aliens, is what it is. I clocked it immediately. I was like, God, he's gonna talk about the Pleiadians, damn it!
fossil fuels and into an era of clean, astonishingly efficient energy.
Now we're anime.
For reasons still debated, no agreement was reached during this meeting. Almost immediately afterward, a second race made contact. These entities were the Greys, identical to those—
Of course, the Greys couldn't be the first aliens we contacted. The first aliens we had contact with were obviously a bunch of blue-eyed, blonde-haired white people, obviously.
Described in modern abduction reports. Small, gray, black-eyed beings with a formidable reputation in UFO lore.
Now, the Greys aliens are a common hallucination people see, but they have been linked to early childhood and baby memories. Like, those kind of, like, getting kicked in your brain. And, of course, when you're, like, below the age of 1, or even below the age of 2, your senses aren't completely formed yet, so those memories are kind of weird and wobbly. So that's what most gray alien hallucinations have been linked to.
Their appearance was not entirely unexpected. According to the documents, the Nordics had warned Project Sigma personnel that a second, more aggressive race monitored Earth closely. The Greys were said to control a vast fleet positioned at the outskirts of the solar system.
So the tall, pale, blonde, white people, good. The little darker people, bad. I see.
A fleet that maintained constant surveillance of human civilization. Their technological offer to the US was as remarkable as the Nordics, but their demanded price was deeply unsettling. In exchange, they asked for unrestricted access to the human population. They wanted permission to abduct human beings, conduct medical and genetic experiments, and return them after wiping their memories clean. They allegedly promised to provide the government with a list of abductees and swore that only a limited number of humans would be taken.
Who supposedly came up with this fucking theory again? This just sounds like a story you're making up. Yeah.
According to the leaked reports, a deal was struck. Advanced alien technology soon flowed into compartmentalized black projects overseen by the intelligence community. Some researchers have suggested that the decision was not merely about gaining tech, but about preventing the Soviet Union from forming a similar arrangement during the Cold War. From that perspective...
Yeah, okay. So, these aliens obviously would have only contacted Americans, right? And not the Soviet Union. They wouldn't be coming to every, like, human population. Of course they only contacted Americans. We're the most important people on the planet! Obviously the aliens would all recognize that. Yeah, he just says there's leaked reports with no... Oh, come on, even the X-Files wasn't this bad. Maybe it was toward the end, but...
Eisenhower may have felt forced into a desperate bargain, one made under the pressure of geopolitical fear, as much as...
So, did they go to China too? What are we seeing here?
...a scientific opportunity. The Greys explained that their interest in humans was rooted in biology. Their DNA had become damaged over time, degraded through generations of cloning and environmental catastrophe. They needed...
I think cloning would... He doesn't know how DNA works, let's just say that.
...access to human genetics to strengthen their species and ensure its...
How would that work? That we're... Not only are we two completely different species, they're not even from the same fucking planet! Alien life might not even have DNA, Jordan. That could be just an Earth thing. I mean, there could be intelligent life out there, but it could be in a form we wouldn't even recognize as being a being, you know? And they might not even recognize us as beings. That's the Fermi paradox, you know? There could be conscious clouds of gas out there for all we fucking know.
Survival. According to the documents, this meant using human...
Why is it only women in lingerie getting abducted in your video there, Jordan?
...women as unwitting hosts for alien-human hybrid embryos.
Oh, okay, I see. We're just being injected with alien babies. Alright, okay, cool.
Which would be surgically...
That was a plot from the X-Files, actually!
...moved early in development and transferred into artificial gestation systems. Many independent researchers studying abduction phenomenon have arrived at remarkably similar conclusions, that the ultimate goal behind many abductions is the creation of a hybrid species. However,
okay.
While the...
So, we have the Aryan aliens and the eugenics aliens. I see, Jordan. I see.
Alleged 1954 treaty portrays this hybrid program as controlled and limited. Many researchers now believe the real agenda was far larger. According to some interpretations, the hybrid program was not meant to save the Greys, it was meant to colonize Earth quietly, gradually, without the public ever realizing what was happening. One of the most...
I think we'd notice a bunch of, like, gray school children were running around.
cited examples illustrating this possibility involves a California woman named Kim Carlsberg, who reported an encounter in 1988. After witnessing a strange craft over the Pacific coast, she awoke to find small gray beings surrounding her. Carlsberg claimed that she was taken aboard a craft and artificially inseminated with a mixture of human and alien DNA.
Yeah, I'm sure this is a very reliable testimony that she has any evidence for.
Weeks later, before she even knew she was pregnant, she was abducted again, during which she said her fetus was removed and transferred.
And she didn't go to the hospital during this time before the aliens came back. She didn't, like, go to a doctor and say, hey, something weird might have happened to me physically.
Transferred to an artificial incubation chamber. Carlsberg, who later understood she had been a repeat abductee, described the program as precise, organized, and
how would she know all of this? I thought they wiped their memories, Jordan. You plot hole, Jordan.
Industrial in scale, eerily consistent with the alleged objectives of Project Sigma. Despite the trauma, she expressed the hope that the hybrids might one day integrate peacefully.
So you're imagining this woman talked in front of, like, NATO or something? What's going on here?
To human civilization.
Why is she also blonde?
A similar case emerged a year earlier in 1987.
Now we're back to Ghibli style.
And his pregnant girlfriend, Diane Swanson, in Las Vegas. The couple
driving
claimed
a
they were
DeLorean, I
abducted
guess.
from their bedroom by non-human entities and taken aboard a craft where Diane's unborn child was removed with surgical precision. The following day, doctors were baffled. The extraction left no typical signs of medical surgery, yet the fetus was undeniably gone. 3 years later, Brett claimed he was abducted again and shown both an adult hybrid woman and a young hybrid girl. He said he instinctively recognized the child as his and Diane's missing baby, now altered into something not entirely human.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like a reputable testimony. Again, do you have any proof at all, Jordan? I mean, cool story, bro. You could go be a sci-fi author, even though you're always going to have this weird racial undertone to it, I'm sure.
Were these abductions isolated events, or evidence of a broader program born from a secret agreement, like Project Sigma? Do they lend credibility to the idea that governments may have...
You haven't even proven that this Project Sigma exists, but okay.
...traded access to their citizens for alien technology. For many, the suggestion is too outrageous to take seriously. For others, the convergence of...
your mismatched AI videos are also making it very hard for me to take this seriously, Jordan.
Documents, abduction testimonials, and technological leaps during the second half of the 20th century is far too suspicious
fiber optic
to
cables.
Ignore. The alleged agreement with the Greys included other conditions as well. The US government was reportedly forbidden from ever acknowledging that the deal existed or that the Greys were present on Earth. Officials were not to interfere with or question any.
According to whose testimony are you saying now? How do you know all this, Jordan?
Part of the alien program. The Greys required the construction of numerous underground facilities built with technology they themselves supplied. These bases would house both Greys and US military personnel working together. Some sources claim there may be as many as 30 such subterranean installations operating today.
Again?
Over time, rumors circulated that the Greys violated the treaty, abducting far more humans than allowed and concealing their true objectives. Some claim the US attempted to modify or break the agreement, resulting in covert conflict
that guy and his
between
clones
factions
again.
of the intelligence community and the Grey presence. A hidden Cold War fought not between nations, but between species. Whether the treaty still exists.
Yeah, I guess this could be a cool, like, 6 out of 10 sci-fi novel, Jordan. Why don't you go do that instead of trying to convince people any of this shit is true? Like, where is this even all coming from?
Has been broken, or has been transformed into something new, remains unknown. Some researchers suggest that this breakdown explains the dramatic rise in alien abduction reports beginning in the 1970s, accelerating
and then the dramatic decrease of them as surveillance technology became more common
into the 80s and continuing through the turn of the 21st century.
Mr. Anderson.
According to this interpretation, the Greys expanded their program far beyond the negotiated limits, taking more subjects, conducting more experiments, and increasing their hybrid population. If the leaked accounts are correct, the hybrid program may now be decades ahead of what the government originally agreed to. This leads to disturbing questions. Have the Greys quietly assumed any other control from behind the scenes? Is the insertion
So are they basically reptilians now too? Is that where you're going with this?
of alien-human hybrids into human society already underway? And if so, is it too late to stop it? For some, these claims are mere fantasy. For others, they represent a hidden chapter of history, one sealed within classified vaults, whispering about
that you have absolutely no evidence for, so
in intelligence circles and reflected in thousands of abduction accounts worldwide. If even a small part of Project Sigma was real, then humanity may have entered into a secret interspecies relationship decades ago, one that continues to shape our world without our knowledge. And if that is the case,
again, this is, yeah, so write a sci-fi novel, Jordan. That's what people have been telling you for years. Just write sci-fi novels, man. Like, this is kind of a creative idea. You could do something with this. But who the fuck would believe any of this is true?
then the question we must ask is simple, unsettling, and unavoidable. If a deal really was made in 1954, what is the true cost of the technology we gained in return? And is Elon Musk really an alien? And that's why he wants to go to Mars so bad?
Of course he likes Elon Musk,
Big
too.
news. Patchman has officially made its way to Barnes & Noble, Amazon.
Why are you Patchman again? Patchman's alive? Patchman lives, everybody! At least back in 2025 he did.
And bookshop.org. The pre-order is live right now, and it'll be hitting shelves across the US on February 28th.
Good, you want tarot cards with Jordan's mediocre art on them? What are the fucking comments on this one say? Pretty good summary for my 7 years of deep research on this topic, minus the fear-mongering and conquering of Earth by the hybrids. Assimilation would be a better word for it. The music was a bit much. The Greys could be making hybrids so they can have human vessels for more compatible with their consciousness as to play human leaders while being leaders of Greys. They're very insightful. I could believe it because I have been taken by the Greys, who knows how many times. I caught one sneaking around my bed and into my closet next to me before I passed out. I woke up on a hard table with a bright light in my face. When I jumped up, a Grey with very thin hair pulled my head back down. It looked me in the eyes and told me to calm down and that they were helping me live longer. I was super unhealthy at the time, so I believe it. Yeah, maybe you were, like, having a fever dream. No, the Fallen just want the human race to battle against our creator when they return. Okay. This is so needed because all of us awakened ones have been trying to figure out and piece together what's actually happening in this entire existence. Excited for the continuation of this part 2, please. Yeah, you seem really awakened there, buddy. I need to research it, but I heard a president was actually allowed to see classified information from alien interviews, telepathic, end of sentence, and the gist of this world is that it's a human farm. Our negative emotions and worry, fear, etc. produce wavelengths used as energy by these inorganic beings. Since when are they inorganic? Aha, the Jews are the aliens among us! I mean, according to Jordan's early... Oh, you replied to this one! May I say, your uplifting spirit science videos are way more interesting than watching UFO fears. May I ask, if you need to branch out, can you investigate how people can develop ESP skills? If you can do a string of videos where you actually try to develop ESP skills, that would be way more interesting than UFO fear videos. Like this, I just published the other day. That's Jordan.
Please watch.
Oh god. Oh my god, he has a second channel! A second channel has hit the Pentagon! Let me put my music back. Oh no, oh no, oh no! I don't remember if I found this before, but I might have forgotten, but oh no! Oh no! Oh no, what is this? Jordan! What is this?
Alright, this video...
What is this? Summarize it for me, yeah, AI. Jordan River discovers the approach to language and examines the multifaceted meaning of the word pride. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no. The most transformational books I've ever... Oh, God, he barely gets any views on this channel. And he's trying to be... Oh, yeah, that's right. When Charlie Kirk died, he said he channeled him. Yeah. Maybe next time we talk about spirit science, we'll have a look at this channel. Oh, God, there's some old shit here, too. I'm talking about a spiritual awakening. I thought he started going by Jordan River more recently than this, because his real last name is like Douche Nuts or something. Oh god, we have like ancient Jordan lore on this channel. Oh god. Oh no, oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm gonna subscribe. We will, yeah. We will definitely be looking at some of his other channel next time, I think. How to bring your creative vision to life, says the guy who uses AI! Yeah, I feel like he's gonna fall into, like, manosphere shit or something. It really feels like he's teetering on that. How to make homemade healing chocolate! That one's only 6 minutes. Maybe we'll watch that after, the next one on my list here. As a final. Antarctica was never just ice. If this is boring, we'll switch to the healing chocolate one. I need to know.
The scientific discovery of fossilized trees, more than 260 million years old, has shocked the scientific world.
Man.
Alongside other fossilized plants recently uncovered in Antarctica, these finds point to something once thought impossible. That the world's coldest...
No, we'll do his political videos on a different stream. I like to kind of stick to the topic when I do a stream, but dear God.
Alongside other fossilized plants recently uncovered in Antarctica, these finds point to something once thought impossible. That the world's coldest, driest continent was once green, vibrant, and alive. Forests stood only a few degrees of latitude from the South Pole, a place where half the year is swallowed in darkness. Scientists now find themselves rethinking what Antarctica was, and what our planet once looked like. Over a century ago, explorer Robert Falcon Scott's doomed Antarctic expedition stumbled upon plant fossils over the Beardmore Glacier, less than 310 miles from the...
Yeah, this is boring. Alright, this is boring. I need... This will probably be the last thing we look like. We'll definitely be doing the Charlie Kirk shit and the gender shit. And the... Gemini stole your logo. Oh, God. Oh, God. God. This... Woo! I guess he won't be boring next time, guys. Oh God. Oh no, he's a Kingdom Hearts video. Oh, it's an old animation he made. Okay. Anyway, let's look at his homemade healing chocolate, guys.
Hey, today I want to show you how to make yourself the absolute most delicious homemade chocolate that you've ever had. In fact, I think it's so good that you'll probably never want to buy any store-bought chocolate.
He has 64K subscribers on the side channel. You guys better subscribe to me. I need to have more than Jordan.
Ever again. There's no comparison. And the thing is, it's ridiculously easy to do. So, a couple of ingredients that we need to get started. I think I have almost everything here. Wait, maple syrup, something to sweeten it.
I use your refrigerator blocking this door back here. What is the setup? What is happening?
Other than that, okay, so here's what I got. First, you'll need some cacao butter. You can also use cacao paste, which includes the powder and the butter mixed together before they've been separated, but I don't have that right now. So we're gonna go with cacao butter, cacao powder, maple syrup.
Cocoa.
You can throw in a few extra things if you like. You could do a little cinnamon, or you could add some spice if you like. But I'm gonna keep it simple for this one. I also have this maca powder, and I might throw in a little dash of that, and I think we're good to go. So, the whole thing is ridiculously easy. What we're gonna do is take, pretty much for me, it's like whatever amount of cacao butter I have. It's really up to you how big of a batch you wanna make. But
this is gonna be such good chocolate. I'm not gonna measure anything. I just kind of put in what I have left over, but it's gonna be great, guys.
This is the last of it that I have, so I'm just gonna toss that aside. And I'm gonna chop this butter up, and then we're gonna throw it in a Pyrex and just heat it up very lightly so that it liquefies. So to start, I'll chop this up.
Matcha is just green tea powder. I guess you could put that in some chocolate if you really wanted to. I don't think it would taste good, though. I mean, I like green tea and I like matcha, but...
Just like that. And then we're gonna take it.
If you mixed matcha with white chocolate, now that could fuck.
Throw it in here. Okay, a little messy, but that should do it. All right.
Yeah, he's acting like he's never done this before. That better be real maple syrup. You're a Canadian. That better be real fucking maple syrup right there, Jordan. Or I'm gonna fly up there and I'm gonna get you.
Let me change this camera angle really quick. Then we're gonna put it on the stove.
That little hand motion there.
Super low heat. Maybe like set it.
Well, yeah, it should be on super low heat because you're putting glass directly on a stovetop, Jordan. What are you doing? This is irresponsible.
Ooh, I don't
know.
You're
bad at this.
Or something like
You're bad at everything.
This is gonna just start to heat up really nice and lightly.
It looks like a ceramic top like mine too. You could crack the glass.
You can also put this in a pot or whatever you like. But
you should have put it in a pot. Why are you just putting a measuring cup on a stovetop? It's like I'm watching Ordinary Sausage all over again.
By the end of it, the thing is whatever level it's up to, this one's gonna be probably...
Yeah, if you don't have it on like simmer heat, it could break, and then you'll just have glass in your butter. Is that what you want, Jordan? You just want to make chocolate full of glass?
About 75 or a quarter cup, and then whatever amount that you use with the butter.
He just put in a note like, oh, I fucked up the camera angle, but I didn't re-record because I don't want to have to do this. Why did you even release this? Why did you even post this?
I do the exact same amount with the powder. So for me, I guess, based on what...
At GordonLemon3738 sent a super chat. Jordan being a Trump supporter is somehow the least surprising thing about him.
I don't know if he is or he's kind of like...
At Plasmamu sent a super chat. Sorry, I'm trying to get drunk.
I hope you're drunk by now for this shit.
Emoji, some Ritas and Jack Daniels.
If he doesn't have a microwave, maybe it messes with his choppers.
At 5-Star Sailor sent a super chat. The Roswell incident was an Air Force experiment to test if you can hear atomic tests from across the planet using the atmospheric sound channel.
Ooh.
They just let the alien myth run as a cover-up.
That's really cool, though.
At DireWolf181 sent a super chat.
That's what I wanted.
Out. Didn't get much sleep. Still going on?
I stumbled across the fact that Jordan has a second channel, which I might have stumbled across before and forgotten, and now I'm just like, I'm like a little goldfish seeing the little plastic castle. It's a surprise every time. But, yeah, so I found this, Jordan's teaching us how to make healing chocolate.
Sent a super chat. This might be the video that makes me crash out.
I know, it's like, this could be a parody if I didn't know he was serious, you know? Like, I fucked up the camera angle. I'm just gonna upload this video anyway, whatever. Like, we're definitely watching more of this channel next time we react to him. Holy shit.
With the butter, you want to do the exact same amount with the powder. So for me,
even though you didn't measure the butter properly, you're just like, I'm just gonna use whatever I have left. So now you have to measure this the same way.
Based on what's probably there, because I don't know, it hasn't melted down fully yet. It's probably gonna be about a 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna use one of those and just get that ready.
Again, he acts like he's never actually done this before.
Not exactly sure, but I probably should have just scooped it, shouldn't I? All right. Actually, while we wait for that butter to melt, we can...
It seems like in these videos and in current months, he's trying to be quirky now. He's trying to be quirky and relatable, and he's bad at it because he's a sociopath.
Also then take our dash of cinnamon and throw it in the dry stuff, just like that. All right.
You should mix cinnamon with the butter first, and the sugar with the butter first, but okay.
So, once your butter is melted, you'll have, you know, a small...
What did you fucking do to it? Why is it so dark?
Amount or whatever it is that you ended up making.
Why does it look like
it did end
pee?
up being about a 1/4 cup, so perfect. That is exactly how much powder we've prepared. This is probably a good time.
I think he cooked the butter too long. Why is it so dark?
Add in your maple syrup as well.
Okay, that better...
add in your maple syrup we've prepared. This is probably a good time to add in your maple syrup as well.
Oh, he's holding it with the... Oh, he's not showing the front of it. Is this real maple syrup, or is this some sugar syrup shit calling itself maple syrup? Because you can't call yourself a Canadian if it's the fake stuff, Jordan.
So however sweet you want it to be, you just throw in a little dabble, do ya?
I do not recommend processed sugars, as he's using just like store brand shit.
Something like that.
Still sugar and maple syrup, you dumb fuck.
Then you take the powder and you just throw that in.
Oh.
And then you stir it. So let me see. I have
You didn't even have like something to stir it with, and you're just doing it all in the measuring cup.
Aha. Okay, I have one of these guys. You know that you stir your coffee with. Or
It's
whatever.
gonna go
so
everywhere.
I'm just gonna take that, and we're just gonna do this. And there's a
Oh,
chunk.
I thought it was an electric one because it has a button on the top. It might be. But, like, imagine he turns the button on and it just flies everywhere. He just gets hot butter all over himself.
Powder in here I need to break up. If you need to, you can also grab a spatula and just
The hell kind of spatula is that?
If there's any powder stuck on the side. Yeah, just like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then, that's probably good. Yeah. Just go until it's all smooth and mixed in well so that it just looks like a, you know, like the chocolate river from Willy Wonka. But like in a cup.
References.
And then we're gonna pour it. So actually the best thing to pour it into is gonna be some kind of ice cube tray. Like a plain ice cube tray works
just go
fine.
by?
I have these ones which actually have little like strawberries and lemon things and
aren't you a
pineapples, and that
Cork
works well. But I also have this like lemon wedge shaped one, which is fun. So we're gonna use that for
just probably actually for lemon wedges. But
this particular batch. And then we just pour it right in here. Just like.
How is this healing chocolate? Like, what makes this any different than any other thing you could mix with cocoa powder?
So. Okay. And then,
you even have enough for the whole thing.
Part of the entire thing, if this already wasn't crazy easy, is you want to just put it into the freezer for.
He's just making chocolate ice cubes. He's like making chocolate jello shots. What's going on?
About half an hour for it to get nice and cold and solidified.
Oh, Cryo's probably suffering in chat right now because he likes to cook a lot.
So, let's do that now.
I bake, so this is driving me crazy too.
And that's it. We're gonna wait 30 minutes and check back here soon, and then we'll enjoy some chocolate.
Okay.
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
I was gonna say, probably take longer than half an hour for it to fucking freeze, you idiot.
Couple hours later, I know I said 30 minutes, but like, then I did other things. So either way, once it's done, this is the next easiest grand finale. And I probably don't have to explain anything more, but you get a bowl or something, like so. You know, pop them out. They are going to be completely frozen at this stage. Once you've popped all of them out, you can let them cool down for a little while and they will keep their form or just eat them.
Let them cool down from being cold. Very good, Jordan. Very good.
Cold and seriously, Best chocolate ever. Hands down. You'll never want store-bought chocolate again. I swear, if you go and compare, like...
You don't look like you're enjoying it very much, Jordan. You didn't put any sugar in it. You just put, like, pure cocoa butter in there. It probably doesn't taste very good.
Go and buy a Hershey's or whatever and then make some of these and just try them side by side. You're gonna be like, I am never buying store-bought chocolate.
Like, anything's better than Hershey's, you dipshit. Hershey's is terrible.
I'm just making this.
It's like, wow, my homemade little chocolate shit is better than a Hershey's bar. I'm sure it is. But Hershey's, like, I think, like, Hershey's at this point doesn't even have enough cocoa in it to, like, legally qualify as chocolate.
So,
that is a good
enjoy,
thumbnail
please
face.
Give it a try. I hope you had fun in this.
That should be the face I put on the poll next time. Like, do we want to react to Jordan River? And just put that on the poll with no further explanation. I won't even say Spirit Signs next time. I'll say Jordan River. He probably won't be on the polls for a little bit, though. I'll give you guys a break. I'll think of something else for Fridays. And I probably will start doing some gaming streams soon, starting this weekend, so...
So, enjoy. Please give it a try. I hope you had fun in this video. We'll see you later.
Oh, I know American chocolate sucks. Our chocolate is garbage, mad lad. I know. It's awful. We have the worst chocolate. Anyway, so that was our pal Jordan River, everybody. Thank you for indulging me in reacting to this man again.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. What's gonna say why butter look like this?
Cause he cooked it too long, that's why! He, like, burned it!
At Miss Jasmine305 sent a super chat. The MCU has finally completely gone to his head. He's a quirky guy now.
Oh, God. And he's like, he's only a little younger than me, I think. This is embarrassing.
At NostalgicNerd9036 sent a super chat. Hey, Sai, do you accept video requests? Because I have one for you if you're interested.
You can suggest things to me. Either you can't really my comments. I block links just to keep spam away. But I do have my Discord server. If you become a channel member, you can join the Discord server, and I do have a suggestions chat in there. So if you want to suggest videos to me, or you could just give a video title and a comment or something, I can look it up my fucking self, you know. So. Sal says, I made butter blondies, but otherwise, I don't burn my butter. Well, yeah, with blondies, you gotta get a particular taste. Have you ever made blondies out of banana? It's really good. Anyway, so, I think I'm gonna go after that. So we finally finished Jordan's fucking conspiracy videos. So next time we talk about him, we could do something else. I don't know if I'm gonna do a react for Wednesday. If I decide to, I'll think of something. I know you guys want me to look at Hezu reviews again. There was somebody else I had in mind, too. I have a list of, like, ideas, that I keep, so... But, yeah, media... I'm gonna try to stick to media stuff for Wednesdays. Like, talking about cartoons, talking about art for Wednesdays. I'm usually drawing.
At Direwolf181 sent a super chat. The Squirky act is uck. Holy bitter, no sugar.
I know, like, you would see his face when he bit into it. It was extremely bitter, probably. You gotta have a little bit of sugar. You can't just put maple syrup in there, man. But anyway, yeah, so, I think for Wednesday reacts, we'll try to stick to media, cartoons, stuff like that. And then Fridays are just kind of an anything goes. It could be reacting to a video. I could do other things on Fridays. I'm kind of thinking of doing a video, because you guys know I've been kind of down on the Amazing Digital Circus's rating, and the finale didn't help, I will say. I know, I understand why people like the show, but I kind of want to make a video contrasting it with the Channel 4 version of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and argue that Digital Circus needed to be weirder. It's too conventional. It needed to be weirder. So, one of the ways I was thinking of doing that was just compiling notes and kind of an overall outline and structure, and maybe just streaming about it and cutting that into a video instead of trying to do, like, a fully recorded script, because I'm not really good at that, you know? I'm not really good at writing full scripts and performing them, which is why I stream. But if I were to give myself, like, an outline and notes, I could at least discuss it on stream. Maybe if you guys could put up with me redoing lines or something, if you didn't care. Like, you know, so I could have the audio I need We could do it as a stream kind of thing. I would only be doing this after episode 9 comes out for everybody, though. And we're definitely going to talk about it on the 20th, but I might start, like, at least writing this and kind of formulating this beforehand so I could get it out, you know, sometime soon after the show is done for everyone, you know? So, yeah, because, like, I don't begrudge anyone liking Digital Circus, but I could never personally connect to it, and I was hoping that episode 9 would do something that would recontextualize the rest of the show, that makes it make sense structurally to me, and that didn't happen, so I kind of just have to go, it's a good show, but the writing is lackluster, and I feel like there's a lot of wasted potential. You know, that's really what it is. And I wanted to contrast it to Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the Channel 4 show, because it does a lot of this similar concept. Actually, you guys can watch it very easily now. I'd recommend anyone who maybe didn't like the ending of Tadak to watch Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. You can pay, like, I think it's like $17 or $12 to just watch the entire TV show on their website now. I've unlocked this because I paid for it. And so if you didn't like the Tadak finale, I would recommend watching this show, because it does a lot of... It's the same kind of thing where you have colorful characters in this cartoony, childlike world trapped in a place they can't escape. But it's way more abstract, and the humor is very British. So, I'm probably... It's the finale seems to be one of those you love it or you hate it type of things. But for me, I never connected with the show very much in the first place. So, I don't hate it, but I have a lot of criticisms for it. So, you guys are going to have to put up with me when we get to talking about it. Anyway, I've prolonged it enough. I'm going to sign off for tonight. I think Sunday, I might do my little, like, first look at Paralives, like that gaming stream, and then next week I'll figure out a time to start doing Disco Elysium, because we've really wanted me to play that, and now I know that Control Resonant is coming out in September, and I'm going to be streaming that day one. I hardly ever stream new releases, but I am so fucking excited about Control Resonant, so I'll be streaming that day one, if you want to stop by for that. Anyway, I'm signing off now. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the gifted subs. Connect your Discord and YouTube accounts, and you'll get dumped in the Discord if you get a gifted sub today. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.